A CAA playoff preview continues here in Bowie's Creek. Last night it was Campbell blasting 6 extra base hits in a dominant 11-5 win to take game 1 of the series. Who's hungry for the Bojangles countdown of first pitch here at Jim Perry Stadium? Campbell's offense electric last night, revamping themselves back to 500. College of Charleston was tied for first entering last night, but the pitching staff let him down late as Campbell came back for that double-figure scoring performance. And with that, we welcome you to the press box here at Jim Perry Stadium with a former all-conference infielder and Colin Wolfe. I'm EvanBudrovich. As we sit today, Campbell is in the playoffs in the 6th spot. How do they continue that success?
Well, I think they're going to need a good start out of Cooper Clark today, a guy who has a high ERA, a high whip, probably need to get it down a little bit. If we can get 5 out of him, that's something they'll be looking for. Give the chance to offense to start punching.
Campbell's pitching staff up and down this year, but Charleston's number 1 in the CAA coming in, which leads us to our impressive lineups for both these squads because Charleston's bats can swing it. Campbell, from the pitching side of things, they lean on Cooper Clark, who's been up and down, but a winning record 4-0. What has allowed Cooper to come out with some good results?
Well, I think the 45 innings is a big tell. He's been able to jump into this starting rotation and give you at least some quality innings, give a chance, like I said, the offense to be able to really punch early. I think in this game specifically, the team that wins the first 3 innings has a very, very good chance of winning the game later on. You got to get to the starters.
Clark allowed 5 runs against Hofstra in his last start. And this Charleston offense can really swing the bat. Number 1 in doubles in the CAA, a high on-base percentage, and it starts with the combo of Cole Sing-Sank in the middle and the power threat of Cole Mathis in the 2 spot.
Yeah, Cole Mathis with the home run last night. I really think this offense left a lot on the bases in the first game of this series. I think if they capitalize on that, it's a very different game last night, but that's going to be something that they probably prioritize here today against Cooper Clark.
10 runners left on for Charleston's offense under Coach Chad Holbrook, and here's a CSC team that's not dropped a series all year in the CAA, but they'll be tested today against a Campbell squad that's really good at home, 20-7 here in Bowie's Creek. And with that, we begin the 29th all-time meeting between these programs, Cougars and Camels. A good little Saturday appetizer for a busy weekend in college baseball. Here's Avery Neves, the starting left fielder for Coach Holbrook tonight. Neves, who's now at a home run in 3 of his last 6 games, really swinging a powerful bat in the month of April as Clark pounds in a strike.
Cooper Clark going to be working with a sinker-slider combination, 90-92, running it in on the right-handed hitters.
He runs it in that time, and a good hit for Neves going the other way. First hit for Charleston. This is a Charleston offense that doesn't mash the home runs that Campbell does, just 55 to Campbell's 90. But they have a high on base and score almost 9 runs a game.
Yeah, I think when I look at their offensive lineup, their production is pretty spread out throughout their entire lineup, and you could see that last night in the way that they had traffic on the bases at all times, but Campbell able to get out of a couple key situations, and that ended up taking a toll on their offense. Campbell wins the game.
This is the 4th highest scoring team, 7.5 runs a game for Charleston. And Cole Mathis, you mentioned it, the huge home run last night to give Charleston the early jolt. Mathis, who's coming off Player of the Week honors in the CAA, 7 RBI and hit 3 bombs in the Monmouth series. Campbell's pitching staff, after a tough first 3 innings, though, really quality work last night.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for today. Find a way to get through the first 3 and let the offense get to work.
Here's a liner over the shift of the second baseman, Kuntz. And 2 hard-hit singles for Charleston.
Yeah, this fastball from Clark just caught too much of the plate. Mathis gets the barrel out front, drives it over an outstretched Kuntz into center field, and first and second with no outs to start this game, Evan.
From a synergy standpoint, no team has harder contact per game than Charleston in the CA. Really good club of barreling up baseballs. And right in the heart of it, Cole Sing-Sang, the grad transfer from High Point. A former Big South opponent. And when these teams met last year, Sing-Sang was held in check. Just 2 of 13 at the plate in that series. But there's always something about putting on a new jersey and battling a year later. Clark gives up hard contact foul.
Well, and as you mentioned with Sing-Sang, it also is just 4 years of college experience. You know, your first year, if you do well, typically there's going to be a good scouting report on you the next year. And so he's kind of went through that entire process, and he's been very consistent throughout his college career. So I would expect him to have a lot more success the way he's been going throughout the rest of the year.
That ball hits Sing-Sang, and the bases are loaded here in the first. You mentioned Clark. Control has been an issue. 5 or more walks in 3 straight starts. He gets himself in trouble early.
Yeah, a lot of this is self-inflicted wounds, but there also is part of it that some of the teams he's been facing can just flat out hit. This College of Charleston team, like you highlighted, #1 in barrel percentage in the CAA. Now your base is loaded with no outs in the first inning. Probably the last thing you wanted for this Campbell team.
And here's Trotter Harlan, the grad transfer. Second team All-CAA last year. And has been electric in his 5-year career. Start 220. So much experience in the heart of Coach Holbrook's lineup. He puts it to work there. Bobbled at second. Unable to turn 2. So the Cougars strike first on the fielding mishap.
So these are the type of scenarios that if you're Campbell, when your pitcher's struggling, you have to take advantage. You had a chance to be runner on third with 2 outs, and you just have a forced play at first. Because of the bobble there, you're only able to get 1, and now it's a first and third situation. In the heart of your order, an RBI chance with the runner in scoring position. Another force out scores another run.
Here's Luke Wood in that 1-out spot. Very close at first. This is a Charleston team that is aggressive on the bag. 60 steals coming in. Wood, who's putting up all first-team CAA type numbers entering this game, fresh off a second-team performance.
So, Evan, you see how fast that happened? How fast they got to bases loaded? Does that remind you of any offense that you can think of in college baseball?
Your COVID year of 21.
Well, I'm talking about the team they're facing today in this Campbell offense. It's very similar. It's almost this spark plug offense, I guess you could say, where it doesn't matter how. Obviously, there was a jam base hit, then a barrel, then a hit by pitch, then an RBI, fielder's choice. It doesn't really matter how they score, but it feels like they're always on top of you.
It has led to a red-hot start for the Cougars here in the first, as Luke Wood fists one foul. He talked to Coach Holbrook this week. Charleston not only trying to play good baseball, but keep up in a very tight race. Northeastern and Wilmington all within 1 game of first. And in the CAA, earning that top 2 seed is so important from that first-round bye. The Cougars currently second entering today. And Clark earns a strike.
I think for teams similar to Campbell, obviously, if you're playing really well and you get a top 2 seed, you deserve it, right, in the CAA. But for a team like Campbell fighting to get the highest seed possible in that tournament, probably not looking at a first or second seed. We were talking about that off camera a little bit. But it's something where you want to put your pitchers in the best position when you do get down to that tournament if you make it in. And I think that that's something that has to be a priority for Coach Hare, because I don't think it's going to be a question of whether or not the offense is going to be able to get it going.
Currently a 6 seed if the tournament ended today. They have a 1-game lead on William & Mary, who's lost 6 straight. That's that final 6-7 spot. And Charleston at 12-4 lost a big series to Wilmington. So they don't own the tiebreakers. Or pardon me, they beat Wilmington, so they have the tiebreaker. But a game back. Which makes dropping games like this so crucial with 3 weeks left.
Yeah, and another thing that we mentioned is that Campbell has to be on full attack mode every series. Not that you wouldn't be, but a lot of times earlier in the year, you're still looking to see who's going to be in your lineup, who's going to be in your rotation. Campbell's got to have their foot on the gas and start trying to sweep teams.
Stallman unable to get that one.
And what I mean by that, Evan, is maybe bullpen management looks a little bit different. Guys are throwing a little bit more, maybe on 1 day less rest for starts or for long relief appearances. It's going to be interesting because teams that are on the bubble, like Campbell and a couple other teams, you have to have your foot on the gas, and you'll probably be a little bit more spent getting into the tournament.
Ooh, Luke Wood takes a hard fastball. So the bases are loaded again. And you're one double play away from making this runner at third, 2 outs. Instead, the inning now could explode.
Yeah, Cooper Clark, his sinker plays really well to right-handers. It just doesn't play very well when it's in their ribs, Evan. So when this ball runs and hits him, you know, College of Charleston taking 2 now. Don't think they're going to move. We're going to get a pitching mound visit here.
Here comes Dusty White, the pitching coach, who's may had some of the worst luck in terms of injuries in college baseball this year. Cooper Clark was a projected midweek or late Sunday starter, and because of all the missing arms, top 3 arms out for the year, it's all hands on deck this year for Campbell staff.
Well, I think there's so many guys on this roster, offensively and on the pitching staff, that not that they wouldn't have gotten their chances, but they've been put into some spots due to injury that they just get thrown into the fire. I think if Coach Hare could have a lot of this season back and have his guys healthy, I think it looks a little bit different in terms of player management, maybe even load management. But what typically happens with situations like this, where you have a year where it's plagued with injuries, is a lot of these freshmen and guys who haven't played at this level, Zach Peschel's another guy, or sorry, Cole Peschel, excuse me, they get so much experience that it'll end up playing off. You just don't necessarily know when. It's just a tough situation.
So Will Baumhofer, who has 7 doubles in the bottom of this lineup, very productive. The Greenville, South Carolina native takes strike 1. He's one of 15 players from in-state. Also an elite name, Will Baumhofer.
Cooper trying to get to that changeup. Get a roll over to the right side. Chandler Riley, who's moved over to second base for this defensive shift, is playing more in the 4-hole.
The 1-1. That time Clark locates his breaking pitch. The sinkers led him astray, but the slider curve combo much better. Clark's 1-2. He's ripped into the shift. That time, the double play. That's Chandler Riley wrapping things up in the first. College of Charleston strikes. A 1-0 lead here in Buies Creek. Here's Aiden Hunter getting the baseball for College of Charleston today. We've noted the offense, but the pitching staff is also incredible. Top 20 in the country in K to walk ratio, and Hunter just does that with his 5-1 record.
Yeah, Aiden Hunter with a 2.91 ERA, a whip of 1.18, Evan. That's kind of what I like to see. You know, just a very solid arm. 37 strikeouts to 16 walks, only 17 earned given up, and 52 2/3 innings. So just another solid arm like you talked about. Just a really good pitching staff coming in here, and wind going to be blowing in today. I don't know how many balls we'll see leave the yard, but that's typically what Campbell thrives off of. So that could be something that Aiden uses to his advantage, but this should be a good start or a good challenge really for Aiden Hunter.
Here's Justin Hare's offense, and Grant Knipp, who continues to lead this team in home runs, 17, hitting in the leadoff spot. A new age leadoff hitter who's back from injury this past week. And then the combination of Harold, Thompson, and Stallman, a lot of power in this line.
Yeah, one guy that I love watching hit is Reed Stallman, because he picks and chooses when he's going to go 100% at a pitch. Very patient hitter. It's a little bit different than the ambush that you see from the top 3 hitters in the Campbell lineup.
A Campbell offense that slugged 89 home runs. That's 5th in the country. Charlie Condon is single-handedly carrying Georgia.
Just hit another one, yeah. Just hit another one. He's tearing it up down in College Station.
He's nearing 30 home runs.
Yeah.
We have a month to go in the season. Knipp has 17 himself. And last week in his return from a month-long injury, blasted a home run. How important is Knipp for this Campbell lineup?
Well, I think he's exactly what I've been talking about, that punch early mentality. When he got switched, I believe it was the Georgia Southern series early on in the season, Coach Hare needed a jolt, and he needed it in the first inning, and he needed it quick. And this is a guy who, if you put something in the middle of the play, especially a fastball, it typically is leaving the yard early in the game.
Knipp leads off innings, hitting .520. Such a powerful leadoff threat as he punches that one foul. It's a new age approach of putting your best hitter number 1 and really trying to maximize those at-bats.
Yeah, typically it's, it's changed a little bit in the past probably like 8 to 10 years. It typically was like put your on-base speed guy, right? Try to get him to second base early. Have your 2, 3, 4 hitters try to drive him in. Your second hitter typically is going to be a left-hander, so you can move him over, right? It's very stock. Here's what we're trying to do. Nowadays, especially with an offense like Campbell, it's go hit the ball hard and we'll see what happens. We'll figure it out later.
Knipp goes down swinging. Good start for Aiden Hunter. And we told you that strikeout to walk ratio, 3-1 coming in. He pounds the zone there, 3-2.
Yeah, Hunter here just uses Knipp's aggression to his advantage, starts slowly expanding the strike zone and able to get Grant Knipp to chase for out number 1.
So here's Dylan Kuntz, and he gets crossed up. Kuntz 2 for 3 last night, scored 2 of the 11 runs for the Camels. Nasty breaking ball. Hunter has a 4-pitch mix. He went 8 innings of shutout ball last week against William & Mary. Just a dominant start. And Kuntz is fishing. 3 good pitches by Aiden Hunter.
Yeah, it's pretty clear what the plan's going to be, and it's going to be use the off speed against these Campbell hitters. Campbell, like I said, it's a spark plug type of offense. I used it to reference College of Charleston, but it's very similar. Ambush the fastball and find a way to get on base. When you have a pitcher that can locate his off speed the way Aiden Hunter's been doing it, you're going to find guys taking because they're sitting off speed, they're taking the fastballs. When you mix it up, it's really difficult for hitters to sit on a tendency or a pattern.
So Harrell works an even count. And this top 4 in the lineup may be the 4 best hitters in the CAA, numbers-wise, power. Tanner Thatch of Wilmington in that conversation. And Aiden Hunter's just mowing him down.
Yeah, you can see he's trying to stay away from the big righties. I know this is the third at bat for Campbell, but you can tell already with Grant Knipp and the way he's pitching to Lawson Harrell. Unless it's a fastball that he's set up to go on the inner half by throwing 2 or 3 off speed outside, I'm not sure we'll see too many fastballs intentionally on the inside part of the plate.
So Hunter's 3-1 challenges Lawson Harrell, who's fresh off a 3-home run game Tuesday and then had 3 more RBI last night. A tremendous week, 10 runs batted in for the super senior. That time he goes down looking. Really good fastball from Aiden Hunter to end the inning. What a great start on the bump.
Yeah, this fastball is painted 3-2. Gets Nip to chase, gets Kuntz to swing over the off speed, and then freezes Lawson Harrell on the outside corner with a fastball. Great start there.
This is where everything starts. It's a place of new beginnings, new opportunities, and a new identity. We are the Coastal Athletic Association, and from the beaches to the city streets, we are united to succeed at an elite level. In competition, in our communities, in our lives. This is the tide that lifts us, the fire that burns inside all of us. This is our moment, our new chapter. We are the CAA, and we are united in excellence.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities, in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Welcome back to Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. Here's Justin Hare's starting defense, a .967 fielding percentage. Now, Reed Stallman really good at first, but Campbell in the infield has to improve here, Colin, the last month.
Yeah, I think we saw in the first inning this game so far. Had 2 double play chances, only able to convert 1. I think the big thing is they've just had a lot of moving parts, right? Trenton Harris was a guy who they thought was going to play a lot of shortstop for them. Hasn't been playing as much. Meglio, the freshman, moving into third base. And then Chandler Riley's another guy who's been kind of a defensive staple for them, and he hasn't been getting too many starts as well. They've kind of went bats over defense, and it's paid off for them. But at the same time, you got to convert your routine chances when you can. I think that's why we've seen the fielding percentage as a team dip a little bit lower than it typically would be.
So Cooper Clark back to work against Kevin Madden, the Baltimore product. On one end, Charleston, really good fielding-wise, .975. Campbell as a team is 10th in this conference. They have to improve in this next month. As Madden will test the defense. Here's Kuntz. Nice turn and a good start for this defense.
Yeah, great job by Kuntz here coming in, making a play. He's playing deep, nearly on the grass. At the second base position, ball chops just over Cooper Clark. And the nice pick from Reed Stallman to finish it off.
Kuntz, who was a recruited corner infielder, making a good transition to second. Justin Hare loves his versatility out there. He's played outfield, corner infield, now second base. Here's more defensive tests. Chandler Riley with a tough throw, and Stallman could not get his foot on the bag. Well, that again has been the bugaboo for Campbell.
This is a great job by Chandler Riley. Come in, use the forehand, get the short hop. But that, I mean, there's 2 steps. He beats him by 3 steps and just rushes the throw. That's one of those things, Evan, where we're talking about team fielding percentage, and this infield outside of Stallman has really struggled. And I really think it needs to be an emphasis on just the routine plays. Don't try to do too much, right? That's a routine play for a shortstop to make, and it's not being made.
And
now
you've played the position.
Correct.
Since you have more time, it's about setting your feet and making a good throw, right?
Well, it's either set your feet or you can actually start running a little bit more towards first base. You create better angles for yourself.
Here's Tyler Sorrentino. So for Campbell, that's their 49th error defensively. Sorrentino hitting in the 9 spot. He's hitting 5 different places in the order this year. And he asked Chad Holbrook, he calls him his Swiss Army knife, loves his versatility. Slow roller sneaks through. And Madden sprinting for third. College of Charleston taking advantage here in the second inning.
Yeah, these errors for Campbell, they typically have came back to bite them so far this season. They're playing the lefty shift, and Cooper Clark makes a great pitch. Ends up getting a ball that chops about 6 times before it gets to the outfield, but able to find a hole, and now it's first and third situation again. So, Evan, you make the routine play there. Chandler Riley makes the play and throws him out at first. This is just, well, it probably is 3 outs because Kuntz isn't playing so far in the hole.
With that runner on base.
Exactly.
Great point.
It's interesting, and you can go back in hindsight 2020, but that's just things that it's a great stop by Schultz there.
Wow, Andy Schultz just saved a run. You've noted, though, Clark's sinker has led him astray today a bit.
Yeah, but when it's been in the zone, he's gotten his ground balls. Like, if he can locate this pitch inside, he's been getting his ground balls in plays that should be made. Double plays are momentum plays, too. To get out of the first inning with only 1 run was huge.
The 1-0 is blasted in the air by Neves. Meglio runs out of room. Clark now at 30 pitches. And he's worked deep into his last 5 starts, 5 innings or more. Campbell will need those innings today from Clark.
You're just hoping from Clark that it is that quality, that 3 runs or less if he can. So much traffic on the base pass pretty much at all times for this College of Charleston offense.
The 1-1 is rocketed foul.
So this is pretty typical, Evan, when you have guys like Cooper Clark with that 20-inch horizontal run in on the right-handers. You, as a right-handed hitter, you have to start cheating it because you know you're going to get jammed if you don't. So now you got to work at the slider and get to the outside part of the plate.
There's Schultz setting up away. Clark just misses. That's Mike Snover behind the plate with Matthew Cermelli and Braden Newton on the bags. The 2-2 off the glove of Schultz. I don't know if that was a cross-up or just a miscommunication, but he missed his target.
These small, subtle, that's not going to count as an error necessarily, but that's something that just piles up, and then you put more pressure on this offense. Last night they did a good job of being able to manage some of the stress that these pitchers were under. The defense came up clutch, but today might be a different story.
And now a walk extends the inning. Bases loaded for Charleston. How do the Cougars take advantage of these Campbell mistakes?
Well, I think the big thing for them that hasn't happened yet last night or today is the big hit. And that big hit doesn't need to be something that leaves the yard, Evan. It's got to be something that's driven and not just a blooper. It's got to be something that really provides a punch, you know, like it has weight to it. A ball driven in the gap here, I got to imagine that we're sending everybody, trying to send a message that College of Charleston is back in this series.
Here's Cole Mathis. Hit a huge home run last night. Clark in danger of hitting another batter.
I think if you're Mathis, you just sit sinker and try to lift something in the air. Fly ball scores 1, ground ball, there's a chance it's a double play.
Mathis, with the bases loaded, is hitting .430. He's now in the top 10 in the CA in runs batted in. What a spot here in the second inning. That time it slips away from Schultz, and a free run for the Cougars. Cooper Clark giving away bases here.
Yeah, this is a slider, it looks like, that ends up backing up and catches Andy Schultz by surprise. Not able to get his glove back there. Takes away the double play opportunity. Now a ground ball scores a run.
And he's facing a second-team All-American who's been hitting the lights out of the ball here in the month of April. .350 average for Cole Mathis in April. He does it again with a liner to center that gets down in front of Bonds for a 3-0 Charleston lead.
outside of Mathis's barrel single in the first, there hasn't been too much hard contact. I actually think Cooper Clark has been able to work in pretty well to these right-handed hitters. But like we said, it's just kind of this compounding thing where the defense doesn't hold up. Cooper Clark isn't able to locate some pitches. We can't stop the ball behind the plate. It's just tough. It all adds up.
Andy Schultz might be buying time for the bullpen now. Which, given Campbell's lack of depth this year in pitching due to injury, they can ill afford a 2-inning start today.
Well, that's why pregame I was saying, like, for Cooper to get 5 innings, it doesn't necessarily have to be 5 innings, no runs. You'd love it to be, obviously, but you need to eat up innings with your starters. They've really struggled this year with having quality starts, and a quality start typically, Evan, is going to be 6 innings with 3 runs or less, but they haven't even been able to get much of that. They've had to go to the bullpen a lot earlier than anticipated.
So Campbell goes to the bullpen here in the 2nd inning. College of Charleston forcing the pitching change. We'll step aside for a minute. Plenty more when we return here on Flow Sports. Drew Signer enters from the Campbell bullpen. The redshirt freshman from Burlington has been up and down in CA play, but a really good outing at NC State. 3 innings scoreless, largely a strike thrower. How does he get ahead of this jam in the 2nd?
Well, I think play to the situation. I know that the defense has been shaky so far this inning, but you got to find a way to get the ball on the ground. Unless you're going to get strikeouts and take this, these ABs one by one by yourself, you got to find a way to get a ground ball up the middle. See if you can get out of it the same way that Cooper Clark did in the 1st inning.
Now facing all-conference standout Cole Sing-Sang, who is humming to the beat of his own drum this year. 8 doubles, 10 home runs. Has taken a huge step from his career at High Point, where he was an average 240 hitter. Not a big extra base hit threat, but has come alive here at Charleston. It's not just Pat Kelsey getting a big bump down in Charleston. Cole Sing-Sang doing the same. Kelsey, the longtime basketball head coach, now at Louisville this year. This ball's poked to center. Peyton Bonds moves back. And the sac fly makes it 4-0 College of Charleston.
This is great baseball all around. Signer able to challenge Sing-Sang. Able to induce the fly ball, get the out. Sing-Sang able to drive in a run with the sac fly. You'll trade an out for a run at this point, the way that the inning's kind of going and the way that the Cougars have been able to get on the base pass and get guys over.
Does this game have a feel of a Georgia A&M where it's 9-8 in the 3rd? Is that the kind of night we should expect as this ball's popped up? Well, College of Charleston certainly swinging it well early. 4 runs, 4 hits. Can Campbell answer here in the 2nd? We'll find out next.
feels. How may I help you?
Made fresh daily. Service with a smile.
Oh, wow.
Fresh and fast, just for you.
Come back and see us.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Should I be selling right now? I gotta get a bigger place. What's my house worth? What do you think? What's my house really worth?
Do we need to renovate?
How do I buy a house?
What if I don't have time to see it in person?
What is going on with this housing market?
Don't worry. I can take the guesswork out of it.
Welcome back to Jim Perry Stadium. College of Charleston leading 4-0. Take a look at the away defense here, Evan. Tyler Sorrentino last night with a couple good plays, running balls down in the gap. Cole Mathis at first base. We talked about him hitting the home run yesterday. Dylan Johnson will be doing the catching.
This is the Charleston team, 4th in fielding in the CA. Them and Delaware are really good defensively. And that has been a tough bugaboo for the Camels this year on the defensive side. 1 error and 2 plays that could have been made, so it's 4-0 Cougars. As Dalen Thompson looks to break what's more like a hurricane out there on the mound. Aiden Hunter, 3 up, 3 down in the first, all via the strikeout. Hunter has next-level stuff, and we're seeing a ton of it tonight.
Yeah, he kind of just comes at you with whatever he wants, right? Those first 3 hitters just mowed him down.
Hunter entered this game 5th in ERA in the conference. Nate Knowles of William & Mary, the Friday ace, 1.9 ERA. He's been really good. And from a strikeouts perspective, he's 8th in the league. Oh, we got a souvenir out in right field. You know, if the kids are going to leave the ball on the field, I would just leave it out there.
Yep.
Add to the elements.
It's
today.
live, yep. Play it live.
Fun aspect here at Jim Perry Stadium. You can get right on top of the field here in Bowie's Creek. Did you ever notice that as a player, like how intimate the park is?
I liked it. I really did. I liked how close it was. And the more that they continue to expand this seated section, there you go.
As Dalen Thompson gets a leadoff single.
The more that they prep this for the idea of hosting regionals and whatnot, it'll really feel nice. When this place fills up, it really does feel like they're on top of you. Feels like the fans are really engaged, and we got some of the best fans in the world here at Campbell University.
I haven't heard that song in a while, but I'm all about it.
2000, shoot.
Early 2010s, as Reed Stallman
You think so?
You think that's more mid-2000s?
I think it's older than that. I think it's 2007.
That's a fair question.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm going to have to do some Google searching between innings. Reed Stallman, who has 10 homers, part of a prolific power offense. And Thompson is picked off. Now a rundown. And a really smart play by the pitcher, Aiden Hunter, for the first out. And Dalen Thompson has a ton of speed, but that time he misread it.
Yeah, when I was going through the numbers yesterday, I believe he was 10 for 10 in stolen bases. It might be 14 for 14. One of the guys that hadn't been caught yet. And again, another guy that picks his spots. Similar to the way Reed Stallman hits, picks his spots. And
that's the first time Thompson's been picked off.
Yep, just got caught there. It's tough because you ask these guys to play, play quick, play aggressive, find ways to extend innings and move runners and take extra bases. And so that's all Dalen's trying to do there. But down 4-0, it might be something where you want to wait a little bit longer, get a run or two, and then start stepping on the pedal a little bit more.
The 1-2 to Stallman. And by the way, Nickelback's Photograph came out in 2005. So we were both in the right realm there.
There you go.
We split the difference. Only close in horseshoes and hand grenades. With Colin Wolfe, I'm EvanBudrovich. This is game 2 of a thrilling CA playoff preview. Campbell exploded last night, an 11-5 win. Charleston with a win today could match Wilmington for first place. UNCW, who will play later tonight. Stallman rolls the 3-2 foul. And you talk to Justin here on this staff, they love the plate discipline and the pitch selection of Reed Stallman.
Yeah, OPSing nearly 1,000, but the average is only 229. What that tells you is when he makes contact, it's hard. He's driving it. He's driving baseballs, and he's taking his walks just like that.
So Stallman earns his 38th free pass of the year and a one-out runner on. That patience has allowed Stallman now to rank 10th in the country in walks per game. Really good eye discipline.
Yeah, just been very patient, choosing when he can deliver the barrel and also able to keep the strikeouts down too.
Which makes me wonder, when you have a hitter like Stallman, having the runner in motion if you're Thompson, right? Because there's an element of, you know, the hitter's going to swing at the right pitch. As that ball actually is check swung by Schultz. Great play by the first baseman, Mathis.
This is something as a hitter where you can kind of, from our seat, see how this is unfolding a little bit. Schultz not fully confident in that swing. As a hitter, you're sitting there, of course it's hit fair, right? Hits off the glove there of Mathis, but Hunter able to get over there and they recover.
Now it's Charlie Meglio, the New Jersey product, who's exploded in year 1 in Bowie's Creek. His average now up to 320 in the bottom of Justin Hare's lineup. But he's about as old school as it gets from a Campbell perspective. 10 hit by pitches. As Aiden Hunter goes to his changeup for the first time, he gets a strike. You asked Justin here, of all the categories where his team is ranked in the top 25, which one stands out to him? It's hit by pitches. That's the DNA of this Campbell team.
Obviously, you know, I was part of that philosophy, and initially it's different because there's not a lot of teams that ask you to stay in the box, right? They want you to hit, but we talked about a lot of how 2-strike hit by pitches are absolute gold and a way to extend an inning.
That time he goes down for strike 2.
And I think if you look at the way that pitchers pitch you, if you're willing to take the hit by pitch, a lot of times they aren't going to come inside on you as often. That was one thing that I learned, so I could start hunting the outside of the plate a little bit more.
Aiden Hunter, who cruised through the first, now in a bit of traffic here in the second inning. Here is pitch 30. Just a bit high. And that fastball has been bread and butter for Hunter through 2 innings.
Yeah, I think topped out at 90 so far today. The ability to hit spots. He's definitely done a good job so far. Had a great outing last time out, like you said.
8 innings of scoreless baseball. Here's the 3-2. Meglio to right. Not deep enough. Yeah. Baumhofer is there. Campbell strands 1 in the second. College at Charleston. Back to hit when we return. 3 innings, 3 pitchers for the Campbell Camels, and former weekend starter Zach Sabers, who in the first 2 months was the Saturday starter, now comes in out of the bullpen here for Campbell. It's an interesting situation now. 4 innings against NC State in his last start. How does he repeat that success today?
I think you got to really continue the way that Cooper Clark was attacking these hitters. If Clark was able to locate, you probably would have Zach Sabers very similar. If they can find ways to stay in on the right-handers and induce ground balls, you should be able to do well. Don't be affected by anything that happens after your pitch. Just find a way to compete. Sabers 4.95 ERA, 35 Ks to 19 walks, 24 earned in 43 and 2/3 innings pitched, Evan. 4-0 record.
With all those numbers, what's the best thing that Sabers does? How does he challenge these hitters?
You know, to be honest, with how many games that I've called on Saturday that he has pitched, it's keeping the ball in the yard here, right? Because he's pitched a lot of home games at Jim Perry Stadium, and especially early in the year, I think you've seen the offense take advantage of it. The ball flies out of this stadium, and the wind's always blowing out, but it isn't today. So I think that's something you could take the same blueprint that Cooper Clark had and the plan, and if you can execute it, I think he has a good day. We talked about it off air. I think this might have been a scenario where whoever started today had a little bit of a short leash because, like we said, Campbell's got to be on the gas pedal towards this sprint here in May.
So Zach Sabers begins the third, and Luke Wood pops one up. Stallman calling for it. 1 pitch, 1 out. We have seen the second time through a much more aggressive Charleston offense.
Yeah, and I think that is very telling because if you're a pitcher and you see that, especially a sinker guy in on the right-handers, you want to keep extending in. I think that's exactly what Cooper Clark was trying to do. He just ended up hitting guys. So you're walking a fine line there, but being able to go 1 pitch, 1 out coming out of the bullpen, that's always huge.
Here's his second pitch. Wow, 2 pitches and 2 outs. Be curious how this next at-bat goes down as Baumhofer rolls out. No chance he swings, right?
I hope not, unless he hits a bomb.
Have you done that in your career before?
No, I've never been the third person to hit like this and swung. No way.
It's got to be a bit nerve-wracking.
It is.
Kevin Madden.
It is.
Takes a big, deep breath with that fantastic mustache. Now, see, if I'm Sabers, I'm throwing it right down the middle.
Yeah.
Like I'm daring him to swing.
Yeah, I think you take – for Madden, I think you take until you get a strike here.
Sabers who overthrows 2 straight pitches. You talk to this Campbell staff. His delivery, the challenge with Sabers is making it repeatable and finding the same release point every time.
Yes. Yeah, I think you can – if you watch him enough, and luckily I have been able to watch him pitch a good bit.
Oh, my goodness. 2-0 is popped up. Not enough to go ahead of Jim Perry Stadium. How about a 5-pitch inning for Zach Sabers? Campbell in business here in the third. Welcome back to Bowie's Creek, where Aiden Hunter searches for his 4th straight CA weekend win. The offense has certainly helped, and to Hunter's credit, he's worked himself out of a jam in the second inning.
Yeah, I really like the way that he's been throwing the ball, able to utilize the fastball in the corners mixed with the off-speed pitches, started to mix in the changeup. I think that's what you have to do against this Campbell offense. A lot of times these starters, these opposing starters here at Jim Perry Stadium, they're going to have to show their arsenal maybe a little bit earlier than you typically would. The first time through the order as a starter, you're trying to maybe save the bang slider, save the changeup. You kind of have to throw it all out there and see what happens against the Camels.
So Peyton Bonds will get things started for Campbell's, having a breakout freshman year. The tools is an area Justin Hare's noted, really developing as a 5-tool player. He check swings there.
It's about the 4th check swing that we've seen, especially from right-handers.
Well, his slider fastball combo is really good.
It looks the same out of the hand, definitely. Even at 88, even though it's not breaking as much as the slider, I think there's enough cut that it makes you second guess.
Here is the true freshman out of New Jersey, who's the nephew of the all-time home run leader, Barry Bonds. That time he takes, and a 3-pitch punch-out for Hunter.
So there's multiple ways you can look at this. For Hunter, he could have went fastball here on the inside part of the plate. But what he does is instead of throwing that fastball on the inside, he's going to throw a curveball that starts at his eyes and breaks into the zone, freezes Bonds a little bit, and gets the strikeout looking.
It's a really good pitch for Hunter. So 1 out for Chandler Riley, who made a critical error, allowing 2 runs to score in the 2nd inning. Riley, who's made the move from 3rd to 2nd, but with some injuries, is now playing shortstop. And he drives one out to right for a base hit. That is one area this Campbell staff loves about Riley, who's emerging bat.
Yeah, when we have seen the past couple weeks when Chandler Riley has played and he's ambushed the fastball, he's really started this offense, gets him going later in the game. He typically is at the bottom of the order. He's done a great job for him.
Now it's one of the best hitters in the country, Grant Knipp, stepping in. Big swing for Knipp. Despite missing 3 weeks of action, Knipp is still in the top 100 in RBI, coming in with 44 driven in. And he missed 20 games. In fact, at 27 starts out of 42 games, he would not be eligible for postseason awards just yet.
Yeah, pretty crazy to think that he wouldn't be eligible with the offensive output he's put together.
He'd have to play at least 75% of the games. And that could happen if he finishes out, let's say, the next 3 weeks straight.
I would love to have my career have the numbers he had in the first 25 games of the year.
Including 17 bombs. This one's popped up. He won an award at the Student Athlete Banquet for Male Athlete of the Year. He dressed like Travis Kelce with the incognito indoor shades.
Yeah, it wasn't too much of a smile. All business from Grant Knipp, it seems like.
He's been a wrecking crew in this Campbell order. And works a full count. For me, it's the combination of power with the 25 walks that truly makes him special.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to say Kyle Schwarber, but that's a bad example because the average isn't nearly there. But it kind of is this ambush mentality, and as he goes down swinging there.
What a really good pitch by Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter's just throwing everything that these Campbell hitters are not thinking. You really have to sit fastball or sit one specific pitch. Fastball is an example. You have to sit it and just capitalize when you do get it, because you're probably going to get it 1, maybe 2 times in at bat. For Kuntz here, seeing 3 straight sliders, you might want to sit slider only. I mean, each at bat it's different because Hunter's throwing everything.
He's had strikeouts on the fastball, the changeup, the slider, and the curve today, which has resulted in a really good start. 5 Ks. The 1-0. And it's not overwhelming velocity. It's not great change of speed, one pitch to the next. But he continues to keep Campbell guessing.
Well, when everything moves, Evan, it's so tough because you know that even when you think you have it, the ball breaks a different way.
2-0 nibbles outside.
But here's an example for Kuntz. Find a way to pass the baton. Find a way to get Lawson Harrell up with a runner in scoring position, whether that's a walk, whether you work the count, and find a way to get a base hit by pitch. Just keep passing the baton.
There's strike one.
Or what typically happens in this offense, which is a home run. That's another way that you pass the baton. So cut this lead in half.
This Campbell offense now in the top 20 in home runs, 5th overall, but rolling that one foul. You don't want to live or die by the home run, but that has been a huge part from a percentage standpoint of Campbell's scoring.
Yeah, and they definitely score in bunches. We saw it yesterday. Duke was probably the best example of what they're trying to do. Obviously, anybody would take 18 runs in a game, but that was a good example of their offense.
Runner moving. Fought off. It's a Charleston staff that allows in the bottom 40 of hits per 9 innings. They don't give up a ton of traffic, and that's been Hunter's case today.
Well, I think last night was a good example, too, where College of Charleston out-hit Campbell, but they also gave up 11 runs because Campbell was able to drive in runs with runners in scoring position.
Nice at bat here, longest of the day for any Campbell hitter. Aiden Hunter on 3-2. Rips it just high and a walk.
Great job by Dylan Kuntz extending the at-bat, fighting off some tough pitches. Aiden Hunter not wanting to give in with the fastball. To be honest, I would have taken a fastball to Dylan Kuntz over having to face Lawson Harrell here this week. Like you said, already 10 RBIs on the week.
Harrell up the middle into the shift. And a nice defensive assignment by Harlan to end the inning. Campbell strands 2 as Aiden Hunter continues to walk the tightrope.
The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, I'm Jared McAdoo, new home sales counselor here at Providence Creek by Mattamy Homes. Come live the good life near Campbell University. We at Mattamy Homes are proud sponsors of the Fighting Campbells. Providence Creek is 15 minutes away from campus with stylish floor plans and amenities including a pool. We have 7 stylish floor plans including ranches from 2,100 square feet to 3,100 square feet, 2 to 5 bedroom options, 2 bath to 3.5 bathrooms, all designed to enhance your daily life. Come take a tour with us today.
Welcome back to Bowie's Creek. Don't forget about the rebooted Fighting Camel Club. Membership gives you access to the exclusive gear, ticket opportunities, and experiences, all while changing lives of Campbell student athletes. Find out more at gocamels.com. In today's NIL world, some of those moments and supportive programs at any team, any school are so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Same way that it's going to be important for Campbell's offense to support Sabres here on the mound, coming off of a 5-pitch inning, Evan. Attacking with the sinker, same way Cooper Clark was trying to do, but able to execute this last inning.
Now faces Dylan Johnson. Is that an approach conversation you have in the dugout after a 5-pitch inning?
Yes. I don't think it's necessarily a conversation. I think you just get told what to do because it is frustrating, especially when Sabres went, first pitch out, got to a 2-0 count, and it was a cap, right? A cap shot out to left field. So I think now it's just be patient. Obviously he wants to be in the strike zone. He's going to try and work there, but
That slow roller stays foul.
See, like there, that's another 2-0 count where there's weak contact. That one's foul. The other one was fair, the pop out to left last inning to end the inning. So,
but not the type of swing you want on 2-0.
No, right, exactly. So it might be good swing decision, but you also haven't seen Sabres, right? This wasn't the probable starter, so I think you just need to slow the game down a little bit, especially with a 4-run lead. You're trying to extend. You don't necessarily play for one, but you're hoping to get one each inning to keep extending the lead.
Not many times a catcher misses the ball and it earns a strike. But granted, by Mike Snover behind the plate. The 2-2. Wow, Sabres, a really good pitch. That one misses. Now that to me feels like one miss, one make, and you're trading ball strike there.
Yeah, you could. I think that's a full plate miss from Sabres, you know, so that might still be a strike, but it's tough when same thing there where Sabres trying to work to the outside on the righty, but
as Schultz tries to earn that strike.
Exactly,
too.
Exactly.
Does that mean you're a fan of robotic umpires or you like the human element?
So did you by chance see Max Scherzer's interview about it?
Correct.
I think that's an awesome idea.
The challenge system and the relegation is really smart.
Yeah. The human element in it is super important to me watching the game, because in the big leagues, you don't have umpires favoring sides intentionally. It might happen like that, you know, every once in a while. But
as a hitter, if you know an inch off the plate is a strike, and it's the whole game an inch off the plate.
Totally. Even in the college level, I mean, you could say any level, but at the college level, you had that too. And, you know, we would get reports like, hey, remember this guy? He had us 4 series ago, and, you know, pretty low strike zone or whatever.
What does an umpire report look like?
A lot of times it's going to be
Is it like a Venn diagram with dots like you're in Battleship on the wall?
Similar in square form because you got the strike zone. But, yeah, it is like that. You know, where, hey, his misses, he kept missing in the same spot. You know, he kept calling balls one, you know, an inch or two off, and it was from the thigh down on the outside half. Like, you can get really specific with it, but.
Here's Tyler Sorrentino at the plate, utilizing that data and watching a pitch slip away from Schultz.
But I like the idea of a relegation system. I really do. Because a lot of these umpires, not necessarily like they aren't being held accountable. They're fine. They're doing their job. And Scherzer said that. Like, these guys are really good.
It also allows the lower level umpires to get experience.
Exactly. And gives them a chance to you're working towards something. You aren't just hoping for a job, you know, a spot to open up. You actually can earn it.
Hard hit ball. And that'll move the lead runner to third. Good play by Riley, who was over at the second base side. Those are those new age shifts where you had Kuntz playing third and the shortstop in the second base position.
Yeah, I think the idea from watching a bunch of their games this year is when you're playing for one out, you want your best fielder in the spot where you think the ball's going the most, and that would be Chandler Riley in this scenario, so they're going to bump him over.
There's Avery Neves, the leadoff threat. Like, to me, would this open up a squeeze bunt situation? You're up 4-0, you have pressure. Do you try to lay a bunt down?
So here's what I think. Would Campbell do it?
Yes.
Then I would do it. And I was like that before I went to Campbell, but the way that Coach Hare, you know, taught us, it opens up this, you know, third dimension, it feels like, of offense where you can just take free runs if you execute.
Because look how far back the corner is.
Yeah, exactly. You can drop a bunt anywhere but the pitcher here, and if it's fair territory, it's a run.
The grad senior from the Division III level at St. John's River State College. He won a national title at Lynchburg College at the D2 ranks. He's bounced all over the place in his 5 years. And Avery has hit the ball hard, 1 for 1 with a rope single and a walk. But right now, Sabres is giving him free pitches.
Similar to Cooper Clark, you can pretty much sit sinker here unless they're willing to throw off speed and risk walking you.
The 3-1, not even close. And a 5-pitch walk.
This is kind of been the scenarios that have just snake-bitten Campbell this year. Guys being thrown in scenarios maybe they typically aren't. Saber's been kind of a mainstay in the rotation, at least a guy that has ate up a ton of innings, 45 innings so far this season. Typically challenges hitters, but the walks have gotten to him lately.
Here's Cole Mathis. And Mathis has been amazing, but not with runners on this year, oddly, hitting below 200, despite leading this club with 35 RBI. He does have 8 sacrifice flies, and that's been a big part of the production. Great breaking ball. Sabres on 0-2. You know, a lot of pitchers will utilize the pitch clock as their friend. Sabres works at an exceptionally slow pace.
Yeah, definitely.
He's manipulating every second of that clock. This is popped up. As a hitter, is that more awkward, less awkward when a pitcher takes all 20 seconds?
To be honest, because I didn't play with the pitch clock, I always wonder stuff like this. I would think the longer that they take, the more comfortable I would try to feel, or hopefully feel, because that would be more similar to what it typically was before, without it.
Sabres misses up.
Evan, that game in College Station is kind of stalled out.
Is it still 9-8?
It's 9-9, top of the 5th now.
Yeah, that was 9 after 1 inning. Yep. That's a doubleheader today because of some weather down in College Station. Nuts. Runner moves. Perfect opposite field base hit with the runner in motion. Maybe a chance for 2. Here's the speed of Neves, and he hits the brakes. That might have been a run there for Charleston, but still a clutch base hit.
Yeah, this is just good 2-strike hitting there by Mathis. Very good execution from Sabres on the slider. I think Mathis here, I don't think this is a hit and run. I think he's just protecting. Neves sees that ball is going to get down and tries to score there, but gets held up at third. So now you got first and third with 1 out. I feel like I'm repeating myself, Evan. I think I said that probably 4 times today.
So Cole Sing Sang's turn, who in his High Point career, 4 full seasons, had less than 10 total home runs. Here he is now with 10 in 1 year down at Charleston.
Yeah, I remember the leg kick, right? Very, very distinct. Well, just distinct leg kick. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, playing defense against him, you definitely knew he was trying to ambush some fastballs.
He does right there. Off the leg. Wow, awkward hop for Riley. And it's 6-0 Charleston on the sharp single. Take me through it as a defender. How do you approach a ball hit that hard?
You sit down and you try to wear it. You can see that ball's hit really well. Sing Sang is able to drive this pitch. This ball's hit no higher than Chandler Riley's waist at second base.
But he's got to play that down.
He has to put his knee down in the ground and try to wear it off the chest, because that ball cannot get by you. Obviously, he's not trying to let it get by him, but because it kicks off his leg, Mathis at first can, take third base.
And with how hard it was hit, he has half a second to make that play.
Well, so Evan, there's a cheat code that I learned. And what I say is the harder it's hit, the lower you get. Because if a ball's hit hard, the angle that it's coming at you is going to be near 0, right? Line drive being 0, I guess you could say. So it's typically going to be negative if it's going to hit the ground before you, as there's a foul ball. So with that ball, I don't know what the launch is. It was a line drive that got out there. So let's say it was a launch angle of 3 hit at 105. Yeah, something close. That ball's not going to bounce higher than it came off the bat at the angle. Does that make sense? So it's not going to hop higher than his waist. So you have to stay down and wear it. So that was something that I tried to work with guys that I played with, because it was something that I learned at third base. I started fielding a lot better when,
especially on a turf field where it's very consistent.
Yes, the hops are going to be really close to the same. So when I started sitting down on ground balls that were hit really hard, I started fielding them a lot more. It didn't make sense to me, but then I started doing it. I was like, oh, that actually makes total sense.
Here's the 0-2.
Good block.
Schultz has had to earn his keep back there behind the plate. A high-level defensive catcher when he talked to this Campbell staff. A bullpen catcher from 2 years ago now is a starting CA catcher. It's one of those neat stories. Here he is, saving another run.
It's tough for Schultz. It's tough to highlight his defense, because a lot of times it's not saving runs like these highlight plays. It's saving runs because the ball's just not getting by him, which is his job. But just to put in perspective, home plate's 17 inches wide. So if Schultz is setting up on the inside for a sinker and Sabers pulls one, he's missing about 20, 22 inches at 90 miles an hour, and Schultz got to stop it. So hats off to him. He's done a great job so far this season, really covering for Grant Knipp.
The 3-2. Trotter Harlan, who has a great approach with 2 strikes. He spoiled a few good ones. One of the key stats, think about a good hitter, when they have 20 walks and 20 strikeouts, really manipulating counts. Sabers again, not even close. And a walk continues the inning. How long is the leash here if you're Dusty White in this pitching staff?
I think I could be wrong, but I think you leave Sabers out there, I think, for a long time.
You need innings, right?
Need innings. You obviously you want him to be efficient. I'd be surprised if they kept switching arms, but hey, you never know. Maybe they feel they're still in this game. Bases loaded.
It's the one part, you need to win a bunch of games to make the tournament, but you also need to win this particular game.
Yeah, you can't.
It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, you can't burn your bullpen trying to get back in a 6-0 game. You know what I mean? You have to have guys step up and give you not necessarily surprising zeros out of the bullpen, but maybe have a guy come in and he gives you 1 earned over 3. Stuff like that, where you just give your offense a chance to claw back. Campbell's going to be able to hit, 6 more innings?
And that's Cy Cox warming up in the pen.
Yep. So it'll be interesting.
And keep in mind, in the CAA now, there's a run rule after 7 innings. So you do also play a little bit of time if you give up all these runs.
Yep. You don't want
to be hitting down 10-0 in the 7th.
Yeah, well, you don't want your runs to be in the first 2/3 of the game, basically, if you're going to give them up, because, like you said, as soon as you get through the 7th, it's over.
Right now, 6-0 and threatening for Luke Wood. Oh, Sabers nearly hits Wood. Control, a major issue for Sabers today. 3 walks, he's hit a batter. In just an inning and a third. He's starting to play with fire now through this Campbell pitching staff. A former weekend starter in Zach Sabers, who was great in his last outing against NC State, but in some trouble today. The 2-0 popped out of play. Facing a hitter in Luke Wood, who has reached base in 10 straight games. He's been really good here in April, including a 5-hit series against William and Mary just a week ago. Off the glove of the pitcher. It helps the Camels somehow to turn 2. One of the rare times where a pitcher touching it benefits the defense. And Campbell gets out of it with a double play.
This ball tips off a Sabres glove. Sometimes you try to get out of the way, Evan, but Chandler Riley able to forehand step on the bag, throw it across for the double play.
Here's what's cooking in the CAA entering the final 3 weeks. So Campbell, William, and Mary are neck and neck for the 6th spot. Only 6 teams get in. And right now, Colin, if you're Charleston, a win today, Wilmington's losing to William and Mary, these standings really clear themselves up in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's really going to be, can the top half separate from the bottom half? There's a few bubble teams there, Campbell being one of them, but Charleston has a chance to take the conference. They got to find a way to win these next few games.
Charleston owns the tiebreaker, winning a series at Wilmington. And Brooks Stadium will host the tournament. The top 3 pretty well set: Northeastern, Charleston, Wilmington. The next 3 are up for grabs as Dalen Thompson leads off the inning. This is a spot Campbell has not been since the 2018 season, possibly missing their own conference tournament. The Camels have not swept nor have been swept by any team, but here they are now at a chance to win game 2. How do they bounce back tonight?
I think you just got to chip away. This can't be a 6-run. It'd be awesome if you did get a 6-run inning, but it's going to be tough the way the Hunter's throwing the ball. Ugh.
Johnson took the worst of that one. There's a lot of padding on a chest protector, but not much on the shoulder. By the way, what if you have a final today? Did you ever have this situation? We're in the middle of semester finals on Campbell's campus. Do you just tell the professor you're busy today?
I don't believe I did, but yeah, I'm definitely busy on a day that I have a final. Especially if I was playing, yeah.
Yeah, semester finals today, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on campus. As Thompson works the count even. It's a matchup of 2 teams in the top 75 in RPI, but all Charleston so far. The 3-2. Good swing on the fastball and a base hit for Thompson, his second.
Yeah, Aiden Hunter having to throw a strike 3-2. Good job by Dalen Thompson working his way back into the count. Able to find a barrel to center field for a leadoff single.
So back to our Nickelback conversation.
This is a top 10 album of all time.
What were you doing in 2005? Where were you at?
I was in.
I'm not worried about grade. Like, what were you doing for life at that point?
Probably riding a scooter with my friends out after school.
Were you a Heelys guy on the back of the shoe?
I think I had them at one point. I know that, but I wasn't as crazy about those.
I was a big baseball card collector at that point.
Okay.
In my life. Yeah, I had the whole Albert Pujols rookie card. I had the Ken Griffey Jr.
Still
rookie
have
card.
them?
It's somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Somewhere. I've moved houses a few times.
Yeah.
And then also not only a big card collector, but a big Pokemon card collector.
Okay.
I had a lot of Pokemon cards.
Nice.
Got rid of those in college. You know, time wears out over time.
They were trying to make a comeback.
Oh, vintage cards are kind of like Bitcoin. They're a hot commodity. I was a big hooper back at that point in my life, 2005.
Good time to be one.
Then I was 6'4" and couldn't jump, so I stuck with other sports. Stallman works a 2-2 count.
Still in SoCal.
In Southern California.
At that time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was going through a, teenage growth spurt.
Yep.
Where half the body grew and the other half didn't. So
yep.
I was 6'3" and skinny as a twig. Now full count.
Man, Stallman's takes are just next level. It's just he works so it makes you you have to throw it in the strike zone. I know that sounds funny, but like there's no wiggle room. He's taking anything that's not on the plate.
And he sees the pitches so well as he ropes one foul. Like he doesn't swing and miss at bad breaking balls.
Correct.
He always takes.
Rarely fooled, if ever.
He's coming off a 3 RBI night yesterday. The junior college transfer from Des Moines Area Community College. And now earns a walk.
So this is it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a scenario in this game. We're in the bottom of the fourth, right, Evan? Where Hare starts playing for one. He wants, and when I say play for one, obviously play for one run. So Schultz might drop a bunt down the third base line here and move the runners. But you play for one so that, a ground ball, who's hitting next? Ground ball by Meglio scores a run if it's second and third, right? But you also give the chance for Meglio to run a ball out of the yard here if they're able to move, and score 3 runs. So I think you take a chance with Meglio. I could see Hare dropping a bunt down here.
Yeah, 6 runs never secure against a Campbell offense that averages 9 runs a game. Now Wofford leads the country. Coach Interdonato heading up to Boston College, but the Bats have still stuck around in Spartanburg. And there's that bunting approach.
Cougars are going to take whatever Campbell gives them, and they'll trade 90 feet for an out here.
A 1-0. No bunt that time. Oh, Johnson, another foul ball.
Take a look here. Top of the foot, maybe. Maybe the bounce up. Taking a beating a little bit there.
So Johnson earning his stripes back there. Now the bunt. Really good bunt.
See.
Got him at first. Good play by Madden.
So this is a great job by Madden coming in to make the play, because what you do as a third baseman there is you read it. If that ball is bunted hard enough, you can attack and go get it. So Schultz laying down the perfect drag bunt. Just a great all-around baseball play. Defense makes the play, offense executes. You kind of tip your cap and move to the next scenario, which now it's a runner in scoring position. Ground ball scores 1, but you give a chance for Meglio to drive in a run.
Charlie Meglio watches a breaking ball. And the ability of Hunter to work ahead in counts has been impressive.
Yeah.
Not this inning, but overall.
Yeah. I think Meglio missed his chance. I think that first pitch curveball, you have to be sitting it with runners in scoring position. That's something that he'll learn, especially the success that he's had when they get to the next couple years. He'll move up in the order, I can nearly guarantee it. And that'll be something where, hey, when you get runners in scoring position, no one's giving you fastballs anymore, big dog. 6'4", 215, you don't get fastballs.
He gets a fastball there. Fights it off.
proven me wrong, but the fastball with 2 strikes is a little bit different. You don't get to get geared up for it. You know, you're kind of in defensive mode. So now you're just fighting for a team AB, put the ball in play, score a run. Good block there.
Excellent block. How do you adjust to not getting as many fastballs or more breaking ball heavy pitching?
It takes a little bit. It's not too many guys that can just immediately adjust to it. I think Zach Neto was one of the few guys that just pretty much did it immediately, being thrusted into the 3-hole. But it's tough because your positive count swings, your 0-0s, 2-0s, 3-1s, you know, where there's a higher percentage of fastballs, you really want to, you know, just cheat it, get the barrel out front. But when they start flipping you curveballs, it makes you second guess. You just got to read it out of the hand and still execute the swing.
Good breaking ball. And now 2 outs.
See, this is another scenario, or just to kind of add on what I was saying, he does a good job executing the pitch. Hunter does under the zone, gets him to swing over the top of it. But Evan, Coach Hare's putting that drag bunt on to try and score a run while giving up an out, right? He wants to create opportunities. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. You want to put your hitters in as many scenarios as you can where a ground ball or a fly ball scores a run, even if the hitter gets out. When the hitter strikes out, it kind of comes back to bite you a little bit, and that's what happened there.
Peyton Bonds down 0-2. Bonds, slow roller. It's been a good inning for Madden at third, and he ends the threat. College of Charleston gets out of the jam. Campbell strands 2. It's all Cougars through 4.
Mark Roberts here at the Outlet, Capital Ford of Lillington, where it's all about the deal. We have a huge pre-owned inventory, plus we can customize your ride with wheels, tires, lift kits, 3M tint, and more. And if you need service, schedule online with our expert team of factory-certified technicians. People are driving to Lillington from all over. For the best price, lowest interest rates, lowest payment, and the most for your trade, the best deals are always at Capital at capitalfordoflillington.com.
Here at Papa John's, we know our stuff.
We know how to hand stuff our crust with more flavors than anyone else.
Like the blend of garlic herb ricotta and mozzarella in our new cheesy calzone epic stuffed crust pizza. We're talking the flavors of your favorite calzone, now stuffed right into the crust of your pizza.
I mean, no one stuffs a crust like Papa John's.
Get a new cheesy calzone epic stuffed crust pizza for a limited time, only at Papa John's.
Both these teams swinging the bats real well heading into CAA play. And the real difference is Campbell's offense, 9 runs a game, held in check today by 800.
Yeah, their offense has been doing a great job throughout the year, doing good scoring runs throughout the series. I think the biggest difference for me there is nearly a 3-run difference in ERA. College of Charleston just pitching the heck out of the baseball overall as a staff and still scoring runs in the process. Their record reflects that. They've done a great job here today with a 6-0 lead going into the top of the 5th, only giving up 3 hits so far against Campbell.
The 2 top scoring teams in the CAA, and it's all Charleston so far. Now it's Will Baumhofer to lead things off. And now for the Cougars, how important, how vital is adding another run here in the 5th or the 6th?
Yeah, these are put away innings, right? I told you, I think the team that wins the race in the first 3 innings has a real chance, the way these bullpens are set up, to separate themselves, and finding a way to get to 7 or 8 for this team is going to be huge, because when that Campbell offense smells blood, starts to score real quick.
Baumhofer down the line. against the shift, and a base hit for Baumhofer. That was a really good swing with how Campbell was positioned.
That's kind of just the way that things have been going here for Campbell. Able to poke one down the left field line, thinking 2 out of the box, but Kuntz is able to run it down, keeps him at first base, keeps the double play in order.
So Kevin Madden up with nobody out. Ooh. See, if I'm Madden, and this is a little old school, I'm taking that pitch. Like, I'm getting hit.
Yeah.
I'm keeping the baton, like you said, pass the baton to the next guy.
Yeah.
And I know Madden's got a great bat this year, 330 clip. But you got a team on the ropes right now, up 6-0.
Yeah, 2 runs here seems to be putting it away.
Well, a throw like that does not help. Bad mistake for Zach Sabres, and Charleston has taken advantage today.
And from what I've seen throughout the season so far for Campbell, it's not necessarily difficult plays where the ball just gets by Stallman on on a long hop. It's typically routine plays like a pickoff where you're picking off up or down 6-0. I understand you're trying to keep them close, but you're probably not going to pick them off. They're not really looking to steal. It's just scenarios like that where you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot a little bit.
Zach Sabres eating innings for this Campbell staff. He's now in his 3rd inning of work. Here's the 1-1. And that's where I wonder if you're Madden. And I understand Charleston swinging the bats well. Putting some pressure on the defense would be helpful.
Yeah.
A defense that has struggled today.
Yeah, that's a good pitch from Sabres, able to get Madden out front and pop it up, but you go back to the dugout and you're like, dang, I wish I would have wore the pitch because I'd be on base, like you were talking about earlier in the at-bat.
Now it's Dylan Johnson's turn. Runner takes off. Schultz, a good throw, but safe. Will Campbell challenge this? Doesn't look like it.
Good jump there. Schultz with the laser down to third base.
I guess the only thing you could argue is, did the hand come off the bag?
Yeah, I think they're going to take a look at this. This is what's weird is dives in, slap a tag.
Clearly, ooh, okay. So
but it's right here.
When the mitt comes off, does the other hand on the base?
It was interesting because when he slid into third base and tried to emphasize that he was safe, let's take a look at this here. When he looks at the umpire, I think he's out regardless. Either way, I think he's out. But he lifts his hand right there. Look,
you think he's out? Okay.
Yeah, I actually think he's out from the initial throw.
Okay, because I think the oven mitt.
Watch, we'll go slow here.
Beats the tag. So he's on the base there.
Right. So now watch.
Oh, you're saying after the
yes.
slide. Okay.
Yeah. I think, because I think they're looking at the initial play. Everything that we see is what they're looking at right now. So when he goes to call safe right here.
Are you allowed to lift a hand off the base?
I don't know if that's what they'll call it.
Like, is that legal?
No. Not at all.
Because he's safe on this first slide right here.
Yep. If he's able to tuck that right hand in.
He keeps his
it's
left
tough,
hand.
Man. It's a good slide. It's a great, it's just a good all-around play from both sides. Picks a good pitch to run on.
Unfortunately, the umpire may have blocked our cameras from the best angle.
Maybe.
So right there, he's safe.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's tough.
These are all the angles the umpires are looking at. Really good jump, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, to me that.
Look how far away Meglio catches the ball from the tag, though.
Right.
You see that? Really, you want to let that ball travel. You don't want to necessarily be in front of the bag sometimes.
You almost want to straddle the bag and go down.
Sometimes you don't necessarily want to straddle because you don't want to catch your feet on the bag, but with a guy like Schultz who can really throw the baseball, it's something where you might change your approach. See how far out front? He's got to catch it and turn all the way around, so it's a great slide as well. We'll have to see here. They're going to keep the call. Yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't think there was enough evidence to overturn it. You're right.
And you certainly can't push the hand off the base.
No.
So he would be safe if he made it in.
But yeah, that's one where you probably want to let it travel as far as you can and then slap the tag straight down for Meglio, and that's something he'll learn for sure.
Infield comes in now for Campbell. And a base hit adds to the lead. It's 7-0 Charleston on the Johnson single. These Cougars are not messing around here in game 2.
Nope. Being aggressive. They've had a couple hits like that where it's kind of a butt out, hands out, flick the baseball, but they're picking and choosing when they need to. And
like butt of the bat and then hands out?
Yep, exactly.
That's what I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Were you more like reaching for it, like you're sliding out for it?
Yep.
I want to learn these baseballisms, Colin. Don't rob me here on Flow Sports.
There's some things that you just keep to yourself. But
hey,
no,
you brought it into the world. I'm here to figure out the answers.
No, being able to just put the ball in play like that, and because it actually brings you back to Meglio's at bat last inning where he took the first pitch off speed. Right there, he's thinking off speed and he's fooled a little bit. Has to reach out, but putting the ball in play, good things typically happen.
Great slider there to Sorrentino. How early do you start playing the score now if you're Charleston in terms of the pursuit of 10 runs?
Oh, I think you're full throttle right here. I think you had a chance to bury a team. You take advantage.
This pop-up will stay in the yard. And there's the second out of the inning for Lawson Harrell.
Again, it's funny. Like I was part of it. I've been 10 ran. I've 10 ran teams, right? Or at least teams that I was on. And I don't think any coach, when they saw 7-0, 6-0, were like, okay, we got this. Almost every coach was like, they're going to make us stop. Like we're going to make them make us stop. And you know, it typically went in our favor, and we were able to keep piling on runs, but like we said, this team, this College of Charleston team, hasn't necessarily had the big hit, right? But they've consistently moved runners. They've taken advantage of the mistakes, and that's what good teams do. There's a smaller margin of error overall in the game when you play teams like College of Charleston.
Campbell has not been run ruled this year, and they're in some trouble in the 5th. Zach Sabers, who to his credit has worked deep in this game after a rough start, but now runs in the 4th, one more here in the 5th. That after starter, Cooper Clark, could not get out of the 2nd inning.
But let's flip it to Campbell's perspective, right? Because you're talking about potentially trying to 10-run a team for College of Charleston.
Right.
From Campbell's perspective, it's not a give up, but it definitely is, okay, who do I want to save for my bullpen tomorrow? Because regardless.
So this is the point in the game where you start thinking about who you throw next.
Because there is a run rule, yes. I think if there wasn't, it wouldn't be yet. You'd try to find, especially with how fast their offense can score. But I do think that because you're getting towards the 7th, you start to think, okay, obviously Jackson Roberts threw yesterday. I think he threw 15 pitches. Is that a guy I want to burn yet? Wigman is an example, too, where he comes and gets one out and then he's done. I think that's a guy who they might want to go to later on. There's a lefty warming down in the pen right now. You got Packy Bradley. Is that another guy you want to throw tomorrow? So you start to pick and choose, okay, I got 5 guys I want to go to plus my starter. I want to find a way to save them if I can. Now, if Campbell comes out and scores 5 runs, then I think all of that's off the table. You try to win this one game. But
right.
It's a tough, in-between here because in college baseball you can score so fast.
It's a Campbell team that scores 9 runs a game. They have the offense, but held in check today. And Sabers issues a walk. So Avery Neves is now on for the 4th time in this game. And here comes a pitching change for Dusty White. So we'll take a timeout for the new arm entering for the Campbell Camels, and we return. Campbell going deep into its bullpen. It's Cy Cox entering. Not a lot of appearances this year. His 13th inning of work and kind of a unique circumstance, looking to keep this game in striking distance.
Yeah, definitely struggled out of the pen so far. As you can see, the 16+ ERA. Whip nearing 3. Probably going to see a decent bit of arms given some opportunity here today to try and keep this game within reach.
He gave up 2 runs at Hofstra, and in his last 4 outings, the team has lost. He's been thrown into, big run, large differential games. And that's the challenge of facing a red-hot Charleston offense that was held in check yesterday. So here's Cole Mathis. Some control issues early for Cox.
First 3 hitters in College of Charleston order have yet to be retired today, Evan.
That's how you score 7 runs in 4 innings. It's been explosive. And the Cougars had a similar start yesterday, but Campbell's offense exploded late for an 11-5 win. That's actually a strike, and a good pickoff is just late. Campbell scored 7 between the 3rd and the 5th inning to pull away. One thing, if you're Justin Hare today, you certainly want more strikes. 100 pitches and only 55 of them are strikes. It's led to 7 walks and a foul ball there. Pardon me, 5 walks and then a hit batter mixed in.
5 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and 2 wild pitches.
Slow roller foul. And you see you see Mathis there pointing out the 2-seamer from Cox.
Ball's running a little bit from the left-hander's hand.
I like how hitters relay that message to the guys in the on-deck circle.
There's so many different shapes for pitches nowadays. You don't see too many people throwing the same as somebody else, so you definitely have to relay and because there's a lot more data available now to hitters. You know, you might have certain trigger words for a guy who has a lot of horizontal movement or a guy who has a lot of ride on his fastball or drop on his slider. So it's always good to relay that.
The 2-2 is roped foul. And Mathis is sitting on that breaking ball. 3 hits already for Cole. And showing no signs of slowing down. Mathis, a huge swing. It's 10-0 Charleston. One of the best hitters in the CAA with his 10th bomb of the year.
This off-speed pitch just floated. And you'll see Mathis, you said it, sitting on the hanger. Look at this here. Ball just driven. Dalen Thompson barely even moves. That ball lands on top of the indoor facility out there, and it's a 10-0 game.
There's another base hit and a 2-out knock for Cole Sing-Sang. This offense infectious today.
Yeah, each guy providing whatever he needs, whatever baseball dictates in that time. A couple hard barrels from Sing-Sang. The ball that went off Chandler Riley's shin earlier was 111 off the bat.
Now Trotter Harlan continues. Okay, if you're Campbell's pitching staff now, how do you manage these next 4 to 5 innings to get you ready for tomorrow?
You're just trying to find ways to fill up the zone and make them put the ball in play.
This ball's in play, challenging for Harrell. Nice hustle for Lawson Harrell to track that one down. College of Charleston, though, a 3-run bomb from Cole Mathis, making this game 10-0. Head coach Justin Hare searching for some offense as we begin the bottom of the 5th. Nice win last night for the Camels, but now his program tested here in Game 2.
Yeah, he's done a great job over the past couple of years. CAA.
And this team has mitigated a handful of injuries. Here they sit tied for 6th. They're in the playoffs as of today.
Yeah, he's definitely had one, in my opinion, one of the toughest seasons that he's had as a coach. And a lot of times the win-loss record doesn't necessarily show, you know, what this team has had to weather really with the injuries and, you know, played a ton of games at home early on. And so now they got this stretch of road games that's going to be difficult, but got to find a way.
There's a first pitch base hit for Chandler Riley, which given a 10-0 score, something tells me Campbell's going to find a way to make it interesting. Now, they might run out of innings, though. That's
right.
The other
That's what I was just going to say.
Challenge for an offense that averages 9 runs a game. Grant Knipp off the end of his bat. It's been a tough day for Knipp. 2 strikeouts and you can sense a bit of the frustration on some big 3-2 misses. Hunter's 0-1. Curious after a long half inning how Hunter responds, because he's been really efficient today.
Yeah, really the only person that has seen him well, the two people, Chandler Riley and Dalen Thompson, but haven't been able to really drive the baseball like they're known for.
Here's a drive. Grant Knipp gets the Campbell offense started here in the 5th.
I mean, is there any home run that looks surprising to us? This guy's ridiculous. Getting the barrel out front, finds the fastball in the middle of the plate. Hasn't got much to hit all day, but able to launch one there, knew it was gone right off the bat. Well out of here. Cuts the lead to 8.
18th home run for Grant Knipp. And we told you how explosive this offense can be. Kuntz fouls one off. So it's hard to take a 10-run bite out of the apple, but what must Campbell do here moving forward?
Well, I think what's important is you got to find a way to score in bunches here. A couple innings ago, you didn't necessarily have to, but the way everything's been going, you kind of do now. There's a chopper over to first from Dylan Kuntz. That's the thing is a 10-0 game in the top of the 5th, excuse me, feels like, oh, the offense isn't, the offense hasn't been able to get going. It's like, this is one of the best offenses in the country. I think keeping them under like 5 is going to be very important if you're College of Charleston, but at the same time, you got to keep them at 5 runs under 9 innings. So keeping Campbell in check is probably very important now than it was before, because now you got a bunch of guys that are looking to really eat instead of just playing for 1 or 2.
Campbell nibbles for 2 of their own runs, right back in it. And here's Lawson Harrell, who himself has 18 home runs. Big power threat for the 5th-year senior. Oh. The organ music is fitting.
So good.
I need a live organist, though. That's my only request. Harrell, the 5th-year senior, now has, incredibly all of a sudden, 46 home runs. What a snag! Madden all over it.
Line drive off the bat of Lawson Harrell. Thinking 2 out of the box, but this ball hooks not enough. Madden with the outstretched glove. 2 feet in, that is a catch, Evan. That is a catch.
He got the feet in bounds.
Yes, he did.
With the NFL draft this weekend. Thompson, who's 2 for 2, having a nice day at the plate. And quickly falls behind 0-2. Off the end of the bat, and he works out a base hit. The 3-hit day for Dalen Thompson.
That's a scenario where if I'm playing shortstop against Dalen, I might want to take like 2-3 steps to my left before the pitch is thrown. Because Dalen with a couple hits now in the same spot, 3 for 3 on the day.
By the way, Lawson Harrell's now second in Campbell career home runs.
Wow.
John Posey, who played it from 84 to 86.
And what are the numbers?
50 for Posey, 46 for Harrell.
Jeez.
So he's got a chance. Thompson takes off. His elite speed gets in there, and he holds at second. He's a one-man wrecking crew.
This is what you have to do, though. You got to find a way to scratch across one more. You don't have to have an 8-run inning, Evan. You know what I mean? You just got to find a way to score 2 or 3, chip away, fight for 3 outs on defense, and then go do it again.
Hold on. This is the pitching coach calling time. Will Dorton.
Some action in the College of Charleston bullpen. We just got the numbers back for that Grant Knipp home run. 111 off the bat, Evan. 461 feet. Let me see.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
of feet.
that's out everywhere in the country.
You know, back in the old Minute Maid Park days in Houston, that may not have been out to dead center. With the hill up in center field?
Yeah.
Was that 450?
I think it's at 431 to center, but it was elevated, so maybe not. I don't know. You've seen the Twitter account. There's, I think it's called Would It Dong, I want to say is what it is. It's all about
That's a
home
unique
runs.
name for a Twitter account.
Isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
But it's talking about, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
How many home runs or how many major league ballparks it would have been a home run.
By the way, that's not the farthest home run Knipp's hit this year. He hit one 469 against Valpo.
Furthest is 484 from this man right here, yeah?
Yeah, correct.
There you go.
Against Stony Brook just 2 weeks ago. The 2-2.
Anybody this guy reminds you of? From back in my day?
Oh. Well, she must have had the
Yeah,
answer.
She must know.
So here's the payoff pitch. Stallman rolls into the shift. That'll end the inning. Grant Knipp, though, hits one a solid 460. And the Camels are on the board here in the 5th. How about the McDonald's stat sheet? McDonald's, I'm loving it. And if you're Charleston, you have to love the start offensively with 10 runs on 10 hits.
435 as a team so far. No errors, again, for College of Charleston. I think, obviously, the runs have been the big difference, but I think that's been, in terms of momentum, the big change that has happened today. Campbell with a couple errors on defense, and the Cougars able to take advantage of it.
So Luke Wood will lead things off. Okay, if you're Cox now, you've been thrown into mop-up duty, but how do you turn this into important duty, right? How do you keep this an 8-run game?
Yeah, there's not much you can do when an offense is swinging it like this, so you just have to keep finding ways to put the ball in the strike zone and really just see what happens.
There's a base hit to get things started.
There's not much you can throw. I don't know that there's much that anybody could throw today to this lineup that they wouldn't hit. They're just having a great day, right? So that's where your defense has got to step up a little bit, maybe turn a double play.
Well, and they had those chances early in the game, but didn't convert.
Yep.
And that's where it got to 4-0 when it should have been, I mean, honestly, maybe 1-0 at the most.
Exactly. Yeah, at the most is a good way to say it. The Kuntz bobble in the first inning.
Correct.
That's one of them.
And then an opposite field base hit.
Look at this.
Against the shift for Baumhofer.
Hey, I am all for it. But that's what I'm saying is, like, there's nothing you can do to get these guys out. I mean, I can't wait to see the numbers on that. That's probably 52 miles an hour off the bat and base hit.
So Andy Schultz will go through some signs. Talk it over with Cy Cox, who, to your point, has been almost the bad luck beneficiary of a couple of hits there for Charleston.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's not pitching poorly.
I'm trying to think of who that was when I played. But there are definitely some pitchers that, not necessarily mop-up duties, we'll take a look side by side on the Campbell bullpen getting hot. But if Cy Cox can get a ground ball here and somehow get out of this with a 0, again, that's just a momentum thing. You're trying to find ways in a game that almost feels out of hand. It's nearing that. You got to find ways to create momentum, and a double play is a momentum play.
Kevin Madden, who's been really good defensively at third, and earned his first hit back in the 5th inning. Oh, hold on. Sometimes the music accidentally starts playing. You know, it's just part of the game. Good news is our marketing staff does a tremendous job here at Campbell. Things happen from time to time as Peyton Bonds comes sprinting in. Really nice catch. But if a song were to come on mid at bat, what would you need to fuel a hit or a big moment?
Like what kind or what song?
Yeah, what song specifically?
Give me an at bat. I'll think on it.
I'll probably need you to raise me up on Eagles' wings or something, just to like spiritually empower me to a base hit. And it looks like a pitching change is coming for the Campbells. Here's pitching coach Dusty White. And there you go. New arm coming in over the wall. Ethan Snyder will make his debut when we return. Ethan Snyder warming up out of the Campbell pen. You might see a lot of new faces for Dusty White's pitching staff today here in an 8-run game. How important are these opportunities for young arms looking to earn their spot?
Well, I think you're earning your spot for May and June, and I think you're earning your spot for next season if you're a guy that's going to be back. These things are really important. I know it's an 8-run game, and it's tough to trick your mind sometimes, but for guys that don't get in too much, you got to find a way.
Ethan Snyder, 9 innings of work, his last outing against Duke in that 18-4 win. He's had some good moments, especially against Bucknell this year, 3 innings scoreless. And now Snyder will face a red-hot Charleston offense. Dylan Johnson, who's reached base and scored all 3 at-bats. Oh, great move.
Safe.
But the throw was high. Well, they had the runner caught, but a good slide by Luke Wood. Charleston's been really smart with base running today.
Probably still here.
That pitch misses down.
Again, I keep harping at it, but it's not tough baseball plays. It's simple baseball plays, like throwing the ball to the third baseman there to tag a runner out. Right? We throw it high, and it's tough to tag him, so he's safe at third. But
runner takes off. Schultz will just fake. And these are the little things Charleston's done so well in this game.
Oh, yeah. No, this is hats off to College of Charleston, because the whole point is finding your opponent's weakness and exposing it, right? And I think that the weakness today has been pitching and defense for sure. I think 2 runs in 5 innings facing a pitcher in Hunter who has a sub-3 ERA and a sub-1.2 WHIP. Like, he's just throwing the ball well. You're running into a guy who's been throwing the ball well. But for Campbell, it's just the little things that I can't imagine. I can't imagine because I played for him, but that's what practice is going to be about this week. I can nearly guarantee it.
All the small things.
Yep.
Blink 182.
Yep.
So now a walk is loaded the bases. But who's going to lead me roses by the stairs? That's the real question.
I think I have an answer. What if I said, no, actually, never mind, I won't say that. I was going to say astronaut in the ocean, but that's a terrible one. for my mid.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the right ballpark there. But anyway, bases loaded here for Tyler Sorrentino.
Yep.
Charleston, hold on. We got a pitching change coming up. Like you mentioned, this is a moment for some of these young arms to earn innings. And Dusty White will go deeper into his pen. We'll step aside for a moment, and the new arm enters for the Fighting Camels. New pitcher for the Camels, it's Will Palmer coming off a 2-inning outing against Duke in the midweek. The true freshman out of Lynchburg, he grew up, his high school was across the street from Liberty's campus, Liberty Christian Academy. And he comes down to Bowie's Creek. Now, fittingly, the former Campbell pitching coach, who was part of the process with Will, Tyler Robinson, is now up at Liberty. So it all comes full circle.
Yep, just switching spots. Will Palmer, like you said, threw earlier this week. 10 Ks to 12 walks, 8 earned in 8 1/3 innings. 8.64 ERA, 2.76 whip coming in to face the lefty.
I really thought you were going to say 8.67 309.
Close.
The numbers wouldn't make sense, but it would be very fair.
They're actually pretty close to it.
So Tyler Sorrentino with a fresh count, bases juiced. And Campbell's got to find a way to throw strikes this inning. We got the update. There is officially no run rule in CAA league play. That is non-league action. And it's only an 8-run game, yet it feels a little different so far. So if Campbell can get any zeros these next few innings, they got a chance. Grant Knipp, the home run to make it 10-2. Ooh. Now that's a pitch. Oh, that's a not good pitch. And Charleston adds a run. You can tell with that breaking ball, he's just struggling to get a good grip on it.
Yep. No doubt.
The arm slot has changed a few times on that pitch. Here's the 2-2. Yeah, he had one really good breaking ball, but the last two have not been very close. And then a walk. So as a hitter, you're basically not swinging the bat, right? You're just daring Campbell to throw strikes?
Yeah, you're just looking for fastball. That's it. Sometimes these are honestly one of the hardest ABs to have. Because it's so in and out of the strike zone, you know?
Here's Avery Neves, who is a perfect reaching base 4 for 4, including 3 walks.
Top third of the order still is yet to record now, I believe.
He's been perfect.
They're at least batting 1,000.
Wow, Andy Schultz, so impressive back there. I mean, this game is a little out of hand score-wise, and he's diving, blocking, making everything happen.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to stay in it, too.
He's saving runs for his Campbell team. Now the 1-2. That one's fought off. These are big innings for Will Palmer, third pitcher of the inning. He's pitched now in 2 of the last 3 games. And we talked about it, these young arms. Who's going to make a postseason roster? You get to a point where you have to trim down to 35 active.
Correct.
Well, I guess 30 technically.
Right.
In the tournament. So you have to find who you trust this late in the year.
Well, in the way that things have been going for Campbell with injuries on top of that, you probably only have like 6 or 7 pitchers that you think you're going to take, and the rest are kind of up in question.
Slow roller, a chance for 2. Nice double play to get out of the inning. Charleston adds 1 more, but good defense from Meglio to end the frame.
getting that McDonald's breakfast 2 minutes before it stops being served, that tastes even better.
Hey, grab me one too.
The double quarter pounder with cheese, fresh off the grill, cooked when I order it and not a moment before. And juicy? Hey, listen, I keep my napkin game up because I'm not trying to have this drip on my drip.
Alex Lyon in out of the Charleston bullpen now with a 9-run lead. Aiden Hunter, I mean, he gives up the 2-run homer, but so efficient in those 5 innings of work.
Yeah, he really did a great job of mixing his pitches early, keeping the Campbell hitters off balance, limiting them to 2 runs. Alex Lyon going to come in and relieve here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And I think with the power of Campbell's offense, going sidearm submarine guy might be a great option here for Charleston.
Yeah, absolutely. Change it up.
It's typically the soft throwers that have given this prolific scoring team trouble. And Lyon in his last 4 outings, just 1 earned run given up, including earning a save at Wilmington. That game earned the series win for the Cougars. Who, remember, if they win this game and Wilmington loses to William & Mary, they're the #1 seed with a month to go.
Yep.
There's a lot of baseball left, but it's pointing in the right direction if you're College of Charleston. Right now, Campbell is 6th in the league standings. They need to continue to win to hold off William & Mary, which does make that final series, those two are pit to play each other here, a really important weekend. As Andy Schultz works a 1-1 count.
So that'll be interesting, and with William and Mary being here the last weekend, because there's going to be a lot of teams that know they're in it, right? If you almost, obviously, you want to be in it. You don't want to be a bubble team as this ball's popped up. See who makes this play.
Mathis does.
But if you're a bubble team, you have to use everybody. If you're not a bubble team, aka a team that's already clinched, you don't necessarily rest guys, but you don't have to extend guys trying to force, trying to win as much. And that sounds weird to say.
So to your point, Northeastern will be in the tournament.
Correct.
They play Stony Brook the last week, and Stony Brook's a bubble team.
Correct.
They're currently 4th, 5th, depending on the tiebreakers. Wilmington, who will be in, but possibly playing for a league title, plays Delaware last week, who's 5th.
Yep.
Right? So a lot of these teams will play each other in the final weekend. This ball's popped up.
Hey, who do you think is going to catch it, Evan?
My money is on Mathis.
2 for 2.
I just cashed in on FanDuel.
Yeah, 2 for 2. But yeah, so those bubble teams, you have to choose. Or sorry, the teams that are facing the bubble teams.
And the neat part is basically all 7 playoff teams, if you count the winner of Campbell and William & Mary, all play each other the last week.
Right. Well, and they have, unless there's a clear-cut 1 and 2, right? Let's say it's College of Charleston and Wilmington. Let's just say there's a clear-cut 2. One of them has won the conference or needs 1 win, and the other one, obviously is the clear-cut 2. It's not going to be Mathis?
As Peyton Bonds pops it up. Well, the wind maybe has another idea, and what a sliding catch for Baumhofer. The submarine righty getting the job done. Lyon 3 up and 3 down for the Cougars. Good defense from College of Charleston through 6 innings. Here's what's coming up for Charleston, and we noted a big schedule. Tough matchup at Duke, but then that Northeastern series. If you're the Cougars, you control your destiny to win a CAA title.
Absolutely. Yeah, you look at this schedule, and outside of Duke, it's not that you aren't afraid of these teams necessarily, but like you said, you control your destiny. The way that their pitching staff has been rolling with a sub-4 ERA, the way they can move guys around, scoring over 7 runs a game, they have a real chance at clinching the CAA this season.
So Cole Mathis will lead things off. Mathis and this offense have exploded. 12 hits today. And it's been very patient, earning 7 walks, a couple of hit by pitches as well. Here's another pop-up. The wind, though, will take care of that one. Slow roller to third. And I will say, Meglio's been really good defensively.
Yeah, he's done a good job. I've seen a lot better angles from him fielding the baseball and setting himself up for the throw across the diamond. Good job by Palmer to get out number 1.
Because if you're Justin Hare and you're figuring out your lineup, you want to know who you trust defensively. And Stallman and Meglio have been really sharp at the corners.
I don't want to jinx it necessarily, but Will Palmer's looked like he's found his arm slot, does it not?
He's now retired 3 straight.
Got Sing Sanko too.
What a snag. Meglio has it. That dude's special at third base.
What a quick reaction over here from Meglio at third base. Sing Sang gets yet another barrel. Step to his right and falls over. Snags it, makes a strong throw across the diamond.
So if I'm Justin Hare making my lineup card, I'm keeping Meglio in there every night.
Yeah, I'm not changing much on the left side of the infield.
Here's Trotter Harlan. He hits his own foot. The home fans here in Bowie's Creek heckling Trotter Harlan, which I find unique given the score. But if you're going to go all in, you go all in.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, that chirp.
Slow chopper. Meglio. That time he's late. A nearly perfect inning for Charlie.
Yep. Charlie playing a couple steps in from the grass. This is going to be tough. The only chance he would have had would have been to barehand it. That would have been a tough play. Infield single.
13 hits for the Cougars.
You know, the fans were saying for Trotter to hit it harder.
We actually hit it softer.
I was going to say, that's actually smart.
Luke Wood up now with 2 outs. The ballpark has gone surprisingly quiet here in the 7th.
Yep. Will Palmer throwing strikes, though, challenging these hitters.
That you can appreciate.
Yep.
Palmer has figured himself out after a tough start to his appearance. And these are the nuggets that Justin Hare and Dusty White, as pitching coach, they'll spend time dissecting these things. Who they can use, who they trust. Wood on 2-1. Goes the other way and gets a base hit. Clutch piece of hitting from the Cougars. It has not been bashing the ball around the yard, but just consistent hitting.
Yep, finding ways to put the ball in play, challenge the defense. Balls have been getting through the hole. Using the whole field is another one. I've been impressed.
And now the inning continues for Baumhofer. Just made a nice sliding catch last inning. This ball is high and deep to right. Baumhofer the drive. Bonds the catch. Wait, no, he didn't secure it. 2-run score on the double. Bonds had it, collided with the wall, and couldn't secure it.
Yeah, how far each of these outfielders had to run. I didn't think either one of them had a chance. Bonds started calling Lawson off a little bit. As you can see here, had to go forever to get into the gap.
This is a great effort by Bonds.
Has it, runs into the wall and kind of pinches it against his body and ends up falling out of his glove.
So here's Kevin Madden. And he'll test Meglio. Great footwork by Stallman. He just saved a run. Fantastic stretch, and that ends the inning. College of Charleston, though, adds 2 more to its lead. Campbell down 11.
Sure, McDonald's breakfast is good. But getting that McDonald's breakfast 2 minutes before it stops being served, that tastes even better.
Hey, grab me one too.
The double quarter pounder with cheese, fresh off the grill, cooked when I order it and not a moment before. And juicy? Hey, listen, I keep my napkin game up because I'm not trying to have this drip on my drip.
Take a look here at the Fighting Campbell's upcoming games. A few away games here on this list. Going to be at North Carolina May 7th. Couple big series coming up, Evan. You got Wilmington, you got Monmouth, and then the midweek games obviously all on the road as well.
The old 10-game road swing.
That's right.
Feels like minor league baseball.
Feels like spring break type of road trip, doesn't it?
And yet, Campbell has played now 28 home games.
Yeah, so many home games.
Charleston's played 29 home games, so both these clubs pretty familiar in their home parks.
I thought when I played that we had a bunch of home games. That it wasn't even close to as many as this.
As Chandler Riley swings at the first pitch, and 1 out. You know, there are programs, especially in the SEC, that have played 35 home games. All different sizes that make it work. By the way, every team in the country has now lost a home game this year. No one's undefeated at home.
It's tough to do. Play a lot of games at home. It's tough to do.
Grant Knipp rolls one to third. And good hands over there by Charleston for the second out. That was Madden.
All right, how many times do we have this scenario, Evan? Two pitches, 2 outs.
We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
You don't swing here for Coons.
Well,
right?
I mean, you're down 11. Do you? I have no clue. I would. I know that I wouldn't.
If you get the fastball middle.
No, I'm still not. I'm taking it. I'd be way too scared to Justin there. Hack.
Nope. That's where you got to throw an eephus pitch. Mattamy Homes building better, smarter homes, including new neighborhoods just minutes away from Campbell's campus. Okay, we got a 4-pitch in it. It kind of all works the same. And a pop-up to center ends the 7th. Let's go to the 8th here in Bowie's Creek. College of Charleston well on its way to evening this series. Welcome back to Bowie's Creek, North Carolina, where College of Charleston having a field day offensively. Campbell continues with its bullpen here the next few innings. Will Palmer's done a nice job. But the real story of this game, the Cougars hitting the ball over the place and have 6 hits of men's in scoring position.
How'd you know that I was going to talk about that?
I can just read your mind.
But I think obviously they've done a great job hitting over 400 with the runners in scoring position, but 14 chances, 14 at-bats with results with runners in scoring position. So that doesn't count any walks or hit by pitches. They probably have had 20 at-bats, 20 plate appearances with a man on second or third or both. It's incredible.
So Dylan Johnson leads things off. He goes after the first pitch. Peyton Bond's on the move, and a nice catch. Okay, so third base is settled with Meglio. Center field is settled with Bonds. Those two guys can play defensively.
And Reed. And Reed at first. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Okay, we got it. There's 3 people. We're third of the way through of our Campbell defensive lineup.
On the same page?
Yep, we're good.
And to Bond's credit, after colliding with the wall and not securing that last one, really good effort on the sliding catch. Just a true freshman.
Yeah. Yeah, we've always liked him throughout this year, learning about him, kind of seeing how he plays, how he goes about his business. The way that he's ran balls down in the outfield has been fun to watch. I think something that you can't really train that he has is that effort. You know what I mean? Like you can get people to try harder, but you got to want it. And so that combination for his effort and work ethic has been fun to watch, kind of flourish this season so far.
Will Palmer, just over 30 pitches now. A good snag by Meglio. We've noted him. Ooh, Stallman able to help him out. Oh, pardon me, that's actually Dylan Kuntz over there on the shift.
A little bit different body than Meglio. Meglio at 6'4", 215.
I knew it didn't look right, but there we go. We got it all figured out.
Hey, we got it. 2 down in the inning.
It is interesting, Colin. You know this as a player. These innings are the ones the scouts watch more than anything else.
Yes, and they are tough. They are tough. I mean, I'm telling you, like, it is tough to get through on the winning side too. Like these at bats are tough because you're sitting there you start thinking about stats sometimes if you're swinging it well or not swinging it well. I remember there was a game we were at Presbyterian and we were up 16-3 or something, whatever.
Right.
By the way, to give them their props, we lost 4 or 5 against them that year, twice in the Big South tournament. So it's nothing against them, but this is the one game we got them, and I was 0 for 5. And so I'm going up there trying to hit the ball as far as I can, right? Because you want something to show for the day when everybody else is swinging the bat well. So
of course,
this is where you'll see guys get subbed in or whatever. But back to Will Palmer. I mean, I think he's done a fantastic job.
Avery Neves on 0-2 extends the at bat. This is a Charleston offense. 13 runs, 15 hits. Have done a lot of things well on this side of the ball. Game 3 tomorrow. Starting pitchers still TBD. That one stays down. Nate Britton getting the ball for Campbell. Charleston on the TBD side. And a walk to extend the inning. Neves has finally been retired today, but he's now reached base on 4 walks. Check swing. He did not go.
Did you see the score of the Texas A&M game?
Oh, what's the final now?
19-9 A&M.
Oh, Georgia was up 9-0.
They were up, 8-0 in the first.
Or 8-0. Oh, my God.
And then Texas A&M and 10-runned them.
Wow. That would be nice.
God, that team can hit, though, can't they?
Yeah. That's nice, too, when you're up 10 runs and you can put a game away.
Yeah.
A lot of conferences across the country have initiated that rule this year, or in the last 2 years specifically.
Yep. I think it's good for the game. I think it keeps people healthy. That's what I think that would be the big thing for me. Especially I was a guy who played mostly every inning.
Correct.
A lot of the time we were thin on infielders anyway or injuries, so it wasn't like some point I'm trying to make. There was just a lot of times where we're gonna go to the pen here, but. So having games shortened that were out of hand, whether we were winning or not, it played a lot like being able to save my legs a little bit.
And I think Will Palmer's having a plant issue or a landing issue on the mound that he's looking to work through. So now one of the equipment staff guys comes out. Maybe the athletic training staff out as well. Maybe a knee issue. I love how it's like, oh, we'll just kick some dirt around. That'll make the plant foot a little better. I guess everything's okay. Interesting. With Will Palmer there. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is there just an issue he's having finding his footing on the mound?
Yeah, something like that. It's a little bit different coming from the bullpen mound to the game mound, but he's actually been throwing fine. I might just stick with whatever's working.
So here's Cole Mathis. And that ball is blasted. Cole Mathis deep to left. And a 15 spot on the board for the Cougars. The first home run was hit pretty hard. The second home run was hit even harder.
Yeah, obviously on a tear. This weekend, swinging it real well. You'll see here on this pitch, able to spin it. Ball gets out of here. Make it a 13.
And Cole Mathis is our Papa John's Pizza player of the game. No surprise there. And a base hit extends the 8th inning. Full sing-sang. Okay, now at what point, if you're Charleston, how do you bottle up this offensive success for tomorrow?
Well, see, that's the thing. When you have a game like this, no matter the winning margin, it's only one win. So that's a great thing, but at the same time, when you go play tomorrow, it starts back at 0-0. So I don't mean that to say like in any sort of bitter way, but there were plenty of times where we would beat a team, like that Presbyterian series, for example. We lost Friday night, I think, by 1. We came back and beat them by like 10 on Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon we went and lost again. So baseball's just funny that way.
There's a pitch runner in at first now for Charleston. And the offensive days continue. Trotter Harlan now has a hit. He collected one in the 7th. Every starter except Kevin Madden has reached base, which is maddening to think about because this dude's been really good at third all day long.
Correct.
Just not able to get on base, though. Oh, boy. Palmer spikes one. And the pitch runner, Brett Gibbs, advances. Ball sneaks past Andy Schultz. It's been a tough inning for Palmer to find the zone. And these are why a lot of these arms for Campbell have not thrown more than 8 or 9 or 10 innings this year. They haven't earned the trust of the staff just yet.
Correct.
The tough part is the staff is so limited in number of arms available that this is kind of who they have if things aren't going well.
Yep, exactly. That's the thing. They want to save their arms for tomorrow. And that's the smart thing to do. It really is. It's just unfortunate that sometimes this is the way that games have to go when.
And with the rule of no 7-inning mercy rule, you sort of have to just play this out. And if you're Campbell now, you drop to 8 and 9 in the league. I mean, describe the importance of tomorrow's game now.
I mean, massive. It's a one-game playoff. Every game from now on that's in league, in conference, is going to feel like that. You have to put whatever you can't worry about saving guys. You can't worry about, anything else, but that ball's going to get dropped.
So William and Mary has just defeated Wilmington. So Charleston with this win will move into first place.
Yep.
And Campbell with this loss will move into 7th and be out of the playoffs.
Funny how it works.
Northeastern won today, so they're now a game back of the 2 leaders, Charleston and Wilmington. Stony Brook had the loss today, so they're 10 and 7. Delaware won, so they're 10 and 7. And now there will be William and Mary at 9 and 8, as I do the math in real time, and Campbell at 8 and 9, so 2 games back of 5th for Campbell. Wood takes ball 2. Remember, the top 2 seeds get a bye So that Northeastern Charleston series in 2 weeks will be massively important.
Come on, good.
There's a base hit and 2 more runs score. Luke Wood makes it 17-2 Charleston.
Now batting number 22, Will Baumhofer.
I know these are tough conversations, but you almost have to tell Palmer, hey, you're going to eat this inning.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes.
There's a strike to Baumhofer. Like the tools are there for Palmer. He just hasn't pieced it together today.
Yeah. I think it's important for him to just let his stuff work. I think a lot of times when he gets in trouble, he tries to force things.
This will be a tough play in the shift, and everyone's safe. 19 hits for the Cougars.
Now batting number 16, EvanBudrovich.
Okay, if anybody wants to get a hit right now, it's Madden, because he's the only guy not to reach base for the Cougars. And now a pitching change coming for Campbell. So we'll take the timeout. New arm coming in, Campbell Freeman, when we return. True freshman Campbell Freeman comes out of the bullpen, and kind of a neat story. He was only throwing high 70s, low 80s in high school, but he actually chronicles his story on TikTok. Developing his pitch arsenal, learning to throw at a high level, and earned a scholarship here at Campbell, and now makes a rare appearance out of the pen, his second career inning.
Talk about a chance to earn a spot, right?
So, to move Freeman, let's see what he can do. He'll face Kevin Madden, and that ball gets away. Remember, with no run rule in the CAA, we will play the 9th as well. This is Campbell's 8th different arm of this game. A pop-up. That, hold on. Oh, Meglio with a catch. And Freeman gets the out. So, let's go to the bottom of the 8th as Charleston is rolling.
It's bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, I'm Jared McAdoo, new home sales counselor here at Providence Creek by Mattamy Homes. Come live the good life near Campbell University. We at Mattamy Homes are proud sponsors of the Fighting Campbells. Providence Creek is 15 minutes away from campus with stylish floor plans and amenities including a pool. We have 7 stylish floor plans including ranches from 2,100 square feet to 3,100 square feet, 2 to 5 bedroom options, 2 bath to 3.5 bathrooms, all designed to enhance your daily life. Come take a tour with us today.
Welcome back to Buies Creek. College of Charleston will continue. It's been a pretty good pitching performance from Hunter and then Lyon the last 2 innings. If you are the Cougars, clearly the bats have swung well. But from a pitching standpoint, you set yourself up great for Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to save your high leverage arms. Maybe some guys that threw yesterday don't have to throw today and get a chance to pitch tomorrow.
So Lawson Harrell gets things started at the plate. What's the key in a game like this to not break your routine offensively? Like you're looking for a certain approach.
Well, especially for Lawson, there's
who
just
gets the
keep
base
hitting.
hit. He might turn this into 2. And hits the brakes. So Lawson Harrell will get pitch run for here, a substitute, as Josh Folks comes in to run. Folks, the redshirt freshman from Northwest Guilford, just across the state, in the Triad area. Thompson pops one foul. The fact that Georgia led 8-0 and lost 19-9 is actually pretty incredible.
Yeah.
There have been some double-figure leads dropped before, but in the first inning. Thompson rolls into what could be a double play, but he's got great speed. Oh, wow, they turn the double play. What happened there? I'm a little confused. Did Thompson not expect that?
No, I don't think he hustled. I think Coach Hare immediately turned to the dugout and pulled him.
Because he's fast, but that's not typical for Dalen. So College of Charleston just turned their 44th double play of the year, which is top 10 in the country. So here's Reed Stallman. The 2-0. This might end the inning, but Neves has a long way to go. Ooh, great running catch. It's been all College of Charleston today. Let's go to the 9th here as the Cougars look to even the series. The problem is for Dalen is there's a scout right there with that hat on, and he'll never draft Dalen because of that play. With the backpack.
Probably.
So Camus Freeman continues his work out of the pen. He got a nice out last inning, but it's all College of Charleston today. Making a statement here in game 2. Some changes of note. Max Weller now in left field for the Camels defensively. Folks is now in right field. And that looks it. We told you about Thompson last inning behind the plate, so he'll stay out there. And now we're all settled with the alignment. Alignment, assignment, technique. With the NFL draft, it's rather fitting. If you were to play football, what position would you have played?
Like,
based on your body type, your skill set?
Based on my body type?
Okay, so you didn't play football in high school.
No. I played in middle school.
Okay, what'd you play?
I played free safety in middle school, but I was a lot quicker. I filled out sideways. I did not fill out straight up, you know? So it's a little different. But, no, I probably would maybe been a decent slot guy. I could catch a screen. Doesn't seem too difficult.
You can move with the ball in your hands.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's Nick Foster.
Too slow to be a linebacker, but feel like I could hit, maybe. Lendl just texted me, punter.
Okay. I've never seen you with your feet. But
I kick left-handed.
How do you kick left-handed?
Left-footed. It's hard, but I do it. I do it really well.
You're a lefty with your feet, but a righty with your hands.
Yeah.
As Camus Freeman gets a strikeout. Congratulations to the true freshman, his first career punch-out.
What about you? You actually have the height for it.
Well, so I actually played football in high school, and junior college. I played like a stand-up outside linebacker in a 3-4. But if it was a 4-3, probably more of like a hands-down.
Okay, like an edge?
Yeah. I was a little undersized, though. I was only 220. I didn't have enough weight.
Did you try to put on weight?
Yeah, that was the problem. I just couldn't.
Really?
I couldn't bulk up.
There's some guys that just have it.
I mean, obviously, I got a little bigger. But I couldn't get to like, oh, it means you're 250. My body just didn't feel well when I was eating that much food.
Yes. Totally get it. I'm there now.
So Kyrie Miller is now in the box.
I knew when I said that I would get you. But yeah, that's great. I didn't realize you played in junior college. Where'd you play at junior college?
Los Angeles Harbor College.
Okay.
1 year. Then went to school.
Did you know when you went there?
Yes. I was a delayed, back in the day, they used to have like a delayed enrollment to certain schools.
Okay.
So USC was like, well, we'll accept you next year, but not this year.
Okay. So you knew you were only going to play one.
Exactly.
And when you look back, are you glad you played one?
Oh, yeah. To say I did it. Yeah.
That's cool.
To say I got to do it.
Did you know when you went there that you wanted to do broadcasting at all?
Oh, yes. So
okay.
I got into the journalism program.
Okay.
So that was part of the goal.
Cool.
Actually, ironically, no one cares, but I got accepted as an engineer.
Okay.
The first fall. And I was like, well, I want to do the journalism. Okay, well, you can come the next fall for journalism.
Nice.
So looking back, I should have just said yes to engineering and then transferred. But I didn't know.
Yep.
You don't know you could do those things that quickly.
Yep. Well, nowadays, whether you play a sport or don't, you can go anywhere you want and immediately do whatever you want.
Oh, with the COVID eligibility,
That's right. When is that over? It's got to be next year is over.
Is the final year that a student would be enrolled during COVID.
Right. You'd have to have been a freshman when it happened.
That could then be eligible for a COVID redshirt year. There's still the regular redshirt.
Right.
Here's Isaiah Range hitting. Freeman pounds in a strike at 87.
So Lawson.
Harrell.
Played.
His first year would have been the spring COVID season.
Correct.
21.
So he has one more year if you wanted. Is that right? 21, 22, 23, 24.
No, that's not right.
That right? Okay, that's what I thought.
Hold on. Oh, he was a redshirt freshman that year.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah. He's out of eligibility,
I
folks.
was going to say, is he going to come back and play? He's going to be 28.
He is old. I don't know if he's that old, but he's got some years
on him. I feel like he wasn't as old as Matt Christian.
He was 26 when he played.
He was the father of the group.
Now, he hit, 18 home runs that year?
He could have hung out. He probably felt more comfortable hanging out with
the coaches.
Coach Harry, I was going to say, than with some of the guys you're hanging out with.
That pitch stays up.
Full circle quarterback in high school. He was a quarterback in high school, so.
And was a two-sport athlete in college.
Yeah.
Played for both teams.
Yeah, he's a stud. Good golfer, too.
I was going to say he's a really good golfer.
Yep.
I've seen the videos. As Freeman pounds in his second strikeout.
Good pitch there at 88 on the corner here from Freeman.
Let's see it in slow-mo.
And got him.
There's another ball that snuck on the field. Those kids got to have a little more awareness of the wall there.
We should raise that fence height, huh?
Well,
back up.
Ironically, it was chopped in half so the people on the hill could see the field. But then there's the side effect to that.
You know what I thought was cool when they did that whole, making the two berms out there and whatnot is when they cut.
Let me give you a simpler word for that, renovation.
Renovation. When they renovated and cut that wall in half, this is a pop-up.
Oh boy. Here we go. Stallman makes the catch.
We'll talk about it in the bottom half.
Campbell coming up. They got to score 15 to keep this thing going. Let's see how many they could score.
Sure, McDonald's breakfast is good. But getting that McDonald's breakfast 2 minutes before it stops being served, that tastes even better.
Hey, grab me one too.
The double quarter pounder with cheese, fresh off the grill, cooked when I order it and not a moment before. And juicy? Hey, listen, I keep my napkin game up because I'm not trying to have this drip on my drip.
How about our Papa John's player of the game? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Cole Mathis has done everything right. Couple of home runs. He has 5 hits tonight. A dominant performance.
Yeah, you could tell that he was locked in since the beginning of the game in his first at-bat. Has done a great job. You take a look here, hitting the hanger way out of here in left field. That was the first one. The second one, he was able to spin over the fence in left field here. Just a phenomenal day, really, having himself a weekend. Someone the Campbells would definitely want to stay away from going into the rubber match tomorrow.
That'll be an important game 3 at 2 o'clock.
So anyway, they renovate the wall in right field, and what was cool is that the old wall is the structure. So there was still this ball's going to be...
That's Jackson Thompson popping one up. Has range to make the catch.
It still had, since before the turf and the padded wall and stuff like that, it had the... You know, a lot of places they'll stamp the history of NCAA appearances or whatever, and so that's what was on there.
Right.
And it was, I always wanted to have that out here because obviously,
like the stickers of all the tournaments.
Yep.
Okay.
And so they did it on the pavilion. That was the trade-off.
The compromise.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But that was something that was really cool when they were renovating that place, was that you saw some of the history from being here. It's really cool being in this area. A lot of people that went here stay here. And so it's cool to hear about some of the stories from, I was just doing it last night with a bunch of people here of home runs they'd seen hit on the pool and pitchers throw no-hitters and stuff like that.
Jonah Oster flies out to center. 5 straight regular season titles for Campbell baseball. That will be a tough task to repeat, as they're currently the 7th seed in the CAA, but you never know. And both coaches are clearing out the benches now. Good to see everybody get appearances. Jackson Ratecki, the backup catcher. College of Charleston, with this next out, will move into first place, jumping ahead of Wilmington. Campbell will drop to the 7 seed and have some work to do tomorrow. This has been a really effective outing for Alex Lyon.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts, no hits.
And that's it. A strikeout secures it. College of Charleston evens the series with a 17-2 win, calling it a dominant effort for the Cougars.
Yeah, really from capitalizing on some of the some of the opportunities that they had, but they did a great job.
For Colin Wolfe, I'm Evan Budrovich. We'll see you tomorrow for Game 3 of this series.